Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. For a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Y'all know, sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's longer. Y'all like to play with me. Um, but welcome to the show, everybody. Let's get it started. Oh, no, I had to run it down again. Look, if you're new, this is the way the show go. At the beginning of the show, I say hello to the people who said hello to me. Now, if you want to say hello to me, please feel free. Say hello to me. And tell me where you're checking the show from. If you're in Cincinnati, tell me the neighborhood. If you're outside of Cincinnati, but in the kind of surrounding area, you can just say whatever area that is. Forest Park, Lincoln Heights, whatever. Um, if you're like in another city, tell us what the city is. If you want to tell us city and state, that'd be great. All right? And that's it. And I say hello to you, and then I say the show takes a bit of a nosedive after that. So there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I could do more show prep or, I have more facts and figures and be more up on the news so that I can discuss more things and, discuss them intelligently, with information and statistics, which I don't believe in, by the way, and all of that kind of stuff. Sure, you could argue that, but realistically, nothing I can do to make it better, okay? So it is what it is. Just let that be that. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Lewis Talbert. Good afternoon, Lewis Talbert. Hold on, let me move this over. Move this over here so I can see it. There we go. Lewis Talbert, good afternoon. Lewis Talbert is first. Good afternoon, Lewis Talbert. Erica Hummins in the house, representing Reading. Good afternoon, Erica. I appreciate you. Nick Brown in the house. Good afternoon, representing beautiful Blue Ash. Maria Smith, representing North College Hill. And rounding out the top five, Darnell Hunter. He says, good afternoon. And he says, first. You're first on Facebook. But the top four people came from YouTube. The page over on YouTube is actually growing. Like, there's a lot more people checking out the show on YouTube than ever before. Twitch, I still got that one. But I appreciate you, my Twitch person, hold on, let me see. My Twitch person ain't there yet. But I do appreciate you, my Twitch person. So that's the top five. Thank you guys for checking us out. Sean D. Nutter, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out. Fake Dave Stinger, good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out as well. Carolyn Smith in the house. Good afternoon, Carolyn Smith. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Got Dwayne Larkin representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon, Dwayne Larkin. Now, Dwayne, yeah, wait a minute. No, I didn't. Wait a minute. Help me remember this. Help me recall this. Look, y'all, don't forget, my memory be messed up. I had 17th degree COVID, and my memory still ain't 100% recovered. But I believe I met, was it your cousin at We Do Barbecue? And then he called you, and, we wrapped the taste. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And if I'm remembering this correctly, I enjoyed talking to you. And, of course, I believe to your cousin. So, Dwayne, thank you for checking out the show. Pat Rogers, representing East Westwood. Good afternoon, Pat Rogers. Jeannie Mulholland. She says, good afternoon, everyone. And happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. It is Thursday. Mm-hmm. Good afternoon. Thank you. Diane Huddleston Angel, representing beautiful Coleraine Township. Good afternoon. We got Karen Dye Williams. Good afternoon, representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I thought I smelled some smoke or something. That's why I had to look. But then I forgot. Mrs. Livingston is burning some incense. She's burning some incense, and that's the smell that I'm smelling. Where was I at? Karen Dye Williams, representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Regina Denson Griffin, representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Candy D, representing Coleraine Township. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking some time out to, spend with me, even if just a couple minutes. I understand. Some people come for a couple minutes and then they got to go. Some people come, spend a good portion of the show. And then, that be that. So I get it. I appreciate if you spend, 20 seconds. That's 20 seconds that you didn't have to. So I appreciate it. Let's see. Janice Evans. Good afternoon, representing Mainville. Good afternoon. Got Yo Underwood in the house. Says good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you. Jeffrey Williams says God afternoon, E-Man from Pleasant Run Farms. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. I appreciate it though. I think I know the meaning behind it, but sometimes we be like real spiritual about stuff that you don't necessarily have to be that spiritual about. So, instead of saying, hey, good afternoon, God afternoon, like, God, that's deeper. That's deeper. So thank you. Thank you. God afternoon to you as well out there in Pleasant Run Farms. Nathaniel Livingston representing Toledo. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show as well. Mary Birch Lavender representing White Oak. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Diane says, I watch a lot of different stuff on YouTube. However, too many ads. Do ads pop up when you're watching me live? I don't think ads pop up. I don't think ads pop up. I know, my show, I've not taken the steps to monetize my show. So I could. There's some reasons why I haven't. But do ads pop up? Somebody tell me. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Steve Bester, representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Why do you pop up on Facebook 4 minutes later? I don't know that I do. I just click start and then I let the software do the rest. So however quickly the software can connect to all of the different channels, that's how it does. I don't have anything to do with that. Maybe Facebook just slower. I don't know. Crystal Hoskins, representing the Christ Hospital. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Got Albert Caldwell. Good afternoon, Albert. I appreciate you. L.A. Magnate. Good afternoon. Watching on YouTube, but you're commenting on Facebook, which is an interesting thing. So you're watching on YouTube, but you're commenting on Facebook. I can see where the comments come from, and that's how I know what page people are commenting from. It tells me, this came from the Afternoon Experiment page. This came from Emanuel Livingston's page. This came from, the YouTube Emanuel Livingston's page. This came from so I know who's commenting on what page. Well, I could know. I don't have, it just shows me whether it's a YouTube or a Facebook. But I could see exactly which page it was coming from. I turn that on. That's too granular for me. I don't need to get that granular. But thank you, L.A. Magnate. I appreciate you. Are you from L.A.? Just checking. Rick Owens, representing Coleraine. Good afternoon, Rick Owens. I appreciate you. Thank you for checking out the show. Stephanie Hyde says hello, E, and great people. Roselawn here. All right. Good afternoon. Here for the excitement the experiment gives. I don't know about excitement. Thank you for checking out the show. Fame Rothstein. He says, I laugh because he says his name is Edsel. So now when I say Fame, I think Edsel, and I still laugh. One of these days, if that's your real name, I'm going to owe you an apology. Because I don't want to laugh at your real name. I don't know if that's your real name. But Fame representing, the Baron of Gross Beezy. Fame, did you hear where Twin tried to steal your parting line? and he actually tried to howl or something like that. I don't even know. I don't know exactly what it was that he did. But did you hear that yesterday? I thought it was interesting. Bonita Gaines, I hope you enjoyed your birthday. Um, Bonita Gaines representing Roselawn. Uh, See, it said aunt. Do they say aunt or do they say ain't? Because I use them both. So this Aunt Sugar or is it Ain't Sugar? I don't know. Either way, thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate you. Kathy Joe Wilson, hi. Hi, thank you for checking us out as well. Mike Ballard Sr., representing Woodlawn, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Have y'all heard about the Cincinnati cop who was under investigation after he abused his authority, held two black women in handcuffs for 40 minutes, called them girls, and tried to arrest them because they honked their horn at him? I did hear about the story. Again, I didn't read it, but I did hear about the story. DeAndre Crosby says first and Ola. All right, Ola. I don't know why we're calling out people's names, but hey, whatever. DeAndre, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Lewis says no, they do not. So no ads. Great. Great. DeAndre Antrian Covington says, what up, bum? You know I'm on Facebook, sucker. I don't know what that means or who you are and why you spell sucker like that. But hey, you showing up on YouTube, so maybe you're watching on Facebook and you're commenting on YouTube. That's two different views. I'll take it. I'll take it. It doesn't mean anything to me because I'm not monetized. So it's not like, oh, you get paid per view. Because I don't get paid. I could get paid, but I don't get paid. But DeAndre, thank you for checking out the show. I don't know why I'm a sucker, but hey, different people have their own views. Yo Underwood, good afternoon. He's talking about Nikki. All right. Mary says, who else on Facebook having this problem? Just asking the people. What problem are you having? I haven't seen anything where it says you're having a problem. Where are you having? What's the problem that's going on? If it's something I can fix, I'll do my best to fix it. E Flat says, do you think black people should boycott Thanksgiving because of no food stamps? Okay, remind me of that question when I finish saying hello. All right? Please remind me of that question when I finish saying hello, because I think I have an answer. LA Magnate says, no, she's from Cincinnati. All right. Well, thank you for checking out the show. There's a reason why we watch on YouTube and comment occasionally on Facebook. Watching on YouTube frees up our phones for other uses. Okay. That's reasonable. Tria. Classy Tria Gaines in the house. She says, afternoon, King and friends. And she's representing Avondale. She put that little heart there. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out. Fame said, I heard that. It was offensive. Nate says, I sometimes forget about the afternoon experiment page. There's only one person over here on this page. Yeah, and eventually I'm going to transition. Like, I'm not going to do it live on my personal page, and that might happen sooner rather than later. Because y'all know, I ain't got no job. So, I'll be applying for jobs. And, when you apply for jobs, people check out your social media. And they can't go to my personal social media page and see me on here calling people bitch asses and stuff like that. Who gonna hire that dude? Well, I've had some interviews with all of the stuff on there. And believe it or not, I actually had one person comment on the show during an interview. I was like, this is uncomfortable. I mean, I was thinking, this is uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm going to have to defend something that I said on the show or not. So I did. I had one person comment on the show, and they enjoyed the show. They enjoyed the show. And so I might hear back from them. But yeah, so I might transition the show to the afternoon experiment page. But we'll see what happens. I'll give y'all a heads up. Let me see. Pamela Kinney in the house. Good afternoon, representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Our own Batman, Danny B. Dozier, says, hey, everybody, representing Westwood. All right, Westwood in the house. Westwood in the house. Stephanie High says, it's very exciting to meet you. You never know what you're going to get or who, Etsu, or fame. Butler Brown in Cartersville, Georgia. Good afternoon, Butler Brown. I appreciate you. Got Terry Anderson in the house representing downtown. Good afternoon, Terry. Thank you for checking out the show. Let me see. Lewis Johnson calling in from the JC with the AC. Okay. If you say so. Stevan Speed in the house representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. April Chanel. Good afternoon. She says, hello, E-Man and everyone. Hello. Hello. Darnell says, boycott Thanksgiving. Again, remind me after the hellos. Remind me. Because I had forgotten until I read that. So please remind me after that. I get caught up in the hellos. Terry Coleman, representing E-Town. Good afternoon. Dina Johnson says, good afternoon, E-Man and family. Dina, our resident angel. Good afternoon. Stephanie Hines says Coca-Cola is hiring. Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Shirley Ellis Howell. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. No, I've never been ziggity boo. Jeffrey. Ron D says, Emanuel, don't F with this one. Okay. I'm not 100% sure. You talking about the pages? Hey, I might have to do what I have to do. But what I tried to go in and make the page private, and I haven't actually gone in and searched it from a different computer because now that I've made it private, you should be able to search it, but then you can't really see the content. I say some stuff here and there that, you know, if you know me, then you understand. But if you don't know me, you might be like, this dude is a little crazy. So, you know, it is what it is. Valisa Lovett, representing Blue Ash. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Terry says, but it's true, you do have some BANs on here. Veronica Burdine says, hello, everyone from College Hill. Blessed day to all. Blessed day to you as well. Our own Jacqueline Carter, who is our own Wonder Woman, representing Evanston. Somebody got on me, Jacqueline, about that because I said that one day. Somebody was like, Linda Carter, it was typed. So this is just my interpretation of the attitude that they had when they typed it. Linda Carter is the name of Wonder Woman, calling that woman Wonder Woman. That wasn't Wonder Woman's name. Relax. Chill out. It's okay. I couldn't remember one day whether, because there was a Jacqueline Smith who I think played in Charlie's Angels, actually. And then there was Linda Carter, but for whatever reason, I had them mixed up. And so I said Jacqueline Carter, and I start calling her Wonder Woman. And it just felt good to me. So that's what I call her now. So it's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Stop rolling your neck. It's okay. Thank you, Wonder Woman, for checking out the show. King Daweed, representing Bond Hill. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Nat Turner. Good afternoon. I appreciate you. Sierra says, dang, y'all been on 20 minutes. What's up, everyone? Checking in from Boston. All right, that's Sierra in the house. I think that's it. I think it's only two people who make you cuss and get out of character. I don't cuss. I don't do it. It's just it's not who I am. So, how's everybody's day going? I hope everybody's day is going good. I know a number of people are still at work, and it's okay. Uh, when I used to work at another place and I could listen to the show, I would put an AirPod in one ear, so I would have the show on, and then I was still able to be productive. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I was not like a secretary typing and stuff. I was doing other stuff. But this is sitting at your computer, even if you're not really typing. So if that's what you're doing, great. I'm comfortable with that. And you don't have to, interact. But if you want to interact with me, phone number is on the bottom of the screen. I might put something over that to make it stand out, like, put it on a black background or something like that. I've been toying with that idea. But I just didn't want a whole lot of black backgrounds on the screen. But the number to get on board, 513-717-KING. That's 513-717-5464. Leroy Hodge says, Leroy Hodge, a.k.a. the last black man representing Winton Terrace. All right. Well, thank you for checking out the show. So what do we got to talk about today? Well, of course, one of the most pressing things. Oh, hold on. Somebody asked a question, and y'all did not remind me. What do I think about, was it black people boycotting Thanksgiving because of the food stamps and, SNAP and all of that kind of stuff? Good afternoon, Edward Bentley. I say, if you want to boycott Thanksgiving, which I don't know 100% what that means, I'm going to assume that what you mean is don't go out and buy a lot of food and cook this big meal and have this big family gathering on Thanksgiving. Keep your money and do something different. If that's what you want to do, sure. For me, the spirit of Thanksgiving, it's not necessarily, what the man taught us and pilgrims and all of that kind of stuff. A lot of these holidays that a lot of us celebrate, and I guess, this could probably apply to virtually every holiday. A lot of these holidays that a lot of people celebrate nowadays, or at least a lot of people that I know, we celebrate holidays. It may be a day off work, or a day that basically, because everybody's off work, everybody can come together. Like, everybody can't just, some people can, but in some people's situations, I can't just be like, hey, it's Saturday, everybody come over, I'm cooking a big meal, and da-da-da. So I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But typically on holidays, maybe things are closed, so there's limited places to go. You maybe didn't have to work, so you have, that free time to prepare yourself and all of that kind of stuff. And it's really just a day for family to get together. A lot of the holidays, not all of them, and not for everybody, but for a lot of them, a lot of people, that's what they're for. Now, I understand you're not asking me, should I not see my family? I get the question, but I'm tying it all together because I think when we say stuff like, should we boycott Thanksgiving? When you're really just talking about, should we keep our money in our pockets? I kind of don't like that. I kind of don't like that. So that's why I'm kind of giving this really long, convoluted answer because I think it's a kind of a complex question. I would suggest still get together with the family if you can. Have a good time. Eat something. Uh, the idea that you have to have this big turkey dinner, big turkey, which I'm not a big turkey person anyway, but big turkey and all of these, sides and all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily think that you have to do that. But when you look, the government, the companies are going to feel it. When we're at grocery stores, food outlets, they going to feel it. You take 8 million, or was it $8 billion? And I think that number was $8 billion a month. You take $8 billion a month circulating in grocery stores and different places where you buy food and then where they accept that. That's got to be felt. If you want to, add your personal money to it, because there's a few people have kind of commented like, look, if you didn't have food stamps, it didn't matter. Was you boycotting then? Like you were still putting your money into there. They're going to feel that $8 billion a month loss. They're gonna feel it in some way, shape, or form. You take $8 billion out of circulation, and it's $8 billion typically for food and things. Those companies gonna feel it, and those companies are gonna press back. Now, this might sound crazy, but I could see some people in the government giving grocers and people like that some sort of a subsidy to help them as they suffer through, a month, maybe two, of SNAP benefits being gone. I could see that being the case. But to your question, I'm not boycotting, but I'm not a big Thanksgiving Day spender anyway. I say let your conscience be your guide. And if you want to stand in solidarity with the people who are losing their benefits, go for it. Go for it. I do kind of not like the fact that you said black people, because I think we all know more white people. There are more white people getting SNAP benefits than black people. And I think that community will be hurt more than the black community. So I don't think it's a black issue. Like, black people, we don't have to bear the brunt. We don't have to bear the burden for everybody. Sometimes, and I know, you got to fight for yourself, and I get it. You got to fight for yourself. But while I'm fighting for myself, it's like, y'all remember I had the issue at Kroger? I had the issue at Kroger where, I had to do my own checkout, and I said, nope, I'm done with Kroger. And I was telling those people, this is a slight inconvenience for me. So I had to go somewhere else, which is, slightly further. But it's okay. I'm fighting for y'all. They didn't understand I was fighting for them. They was just irritated. But I'm fighting for y'all to get better wages and better treatment and all that kind of stuff. I'm fighting for them to hire more people and pay y'all more. Because, the more I do your work, the less they're going to feel the pressure to hire or pay more. So, okay, you fight for you, but make them participate in the fight as well. Don't be out there, you suffering and you struggling so that they can get more benefits than you anyway. If they don't want to get out and suffer and struggle and whatever for their benefits, because again, they're getting more than you. Don't do all of the work for them. Don't you do all of the work? And I don't want to see. I hate that they keep trying to paint this as, because I've seen a few news stories, and yeah, I see here and there they talk to white people and all of that kind of stuff, but I hate to, see that people act like black people are the face of this. They've made us the face of it, so then we take ownership of it. But no, I was actually just looking at a map. Wrong mouse. I'm looking at this map of Ohio, and they're talking about the percentage in these counties. It's broken up into counties. I think this is on WLWT's website, and they do a breakdown in the counties of where the SNAP benefits go to. These urban counties, they don't have the largest percentage of their population getting SNAP benefits. Some of those other counties do. But let me go to the phones. Ron D, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
How you
Nothing.
feel?
Huh?
I say, how you feel?
Man, I feel good.
Good,
How you
good.
feel?
Man, so I'm straight.
All right.
Hey, so I want to change the topic just a little bit. Man, I'm not concerned. Well, I'm concerned why nobody else is talking about what what we're going through right now. Not only what we can see, what 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 we're going through spiritually right now.
What are we going through
And
spiritually?
I mean, well, I mean, I don't know, about anybody else. You know, there's a shift, and there's, it's just a shift in the atmosphere, so to speak.
Oh,
But you know, now I told you I used to go to church on a regular basis,
okay.
and actually, God called me to the ministry a long time ago.
Oh,
Yeah, and
I want to revisit
I-
that later in the call, but go ahead.
yeah, okay, and I was talking to my son about this situation that you know everybody looking for Jesus to come back, and I told him that I believe that we are the children of the tribulations. I believe that God already came back. I I, I just believe that, and I'm looking, you know, at all the things that are going, going on, scripturally, you know, and with them lining up scripturally, and what the government and the governments are presenting to us. They're talking about that three-eye atlas, and um, they're not only is that three-eye atlas right now behind the sun, but there are 17, 17 comets around our in our galaxy in particular. 17, unheard of. 17, and I'm thinking, I just don't know where everybody is on, everything like that. And I don't understand why nobody talks about it. Nobody is discussing it. Nobody, we all distracted with the things that, I mean, that they do all the time. You know, okay, is a government shutdown? Um, Trump has been the recipient of the two longest, and I think history, but the two longest, you know, in my lifetime. I mean, but there's been government shutdowns before and
Okay,
all this
hold
other
on.
little
Let
stuff.
me wait. Let me. I'm confused about exactly what it is you're asking. It seems like you're saying why aren't people talking about some of this? You're probably gonna object to this classification, but some of this more obscure stuff than the stuff that's like right in front of our faces.
No, it's presented right in front of our faces, but the things that I always say, it's not what somebody tells me. It's what they don't tell me that's significant. You know, and the people try to hide the truth. You know, they want to tell you all the good,
Right, but
and
what?
in this case,
But what?
in, in
Well,
this in
Ron,
this case,
Ron.
they want to distract you with all the typical distractions that
But
they
what are they
always distract us
distracting us
with.
from? What do you believe they're distracting us from?
Um, well, and like I said, you know, with biblical prophecy being, you know, I mean, it's before us like never before. It ain't like wars and rumors of wars. No, 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 no. It ain't like that. I mean, and I could go on, and
But wait, so what you think?
go.
So you think that they're doing things to
And
distract us?
no, what I'm saying is, you know, like people were talking about uh, um, boycotting um, Thanksgiving. You know, I always said, I was supporting Trump because this is our chance to get black folk together, and this is our opportunity to get black folks together because we are the furthest apart within all the ethnicities out there. Jewish people,
But
they
Ron,
sort of click up.
but Ron,
You know,
Ron.
okay.
Here's my. What should we be talking about that we're not talking about?
Um, okay. So right now we're not talking about the fact of what AI is bringing to the table. And Agenda 2030 is being realized right before our eyes. Y'all talked about Agenda or Project 2025 and all that old bullshit, and that just is nothing. It's just an old nothing burger.
It's clearly not a old
Agenda.
nothing
But,
burger
but wait
if
a
right
minute.
now
But
that's
wait.
what
But,
they're
but wait a
using to
minute.
distract
But
us
wait.
from
Wait.
everything.
Okay, nothing burger, like I said, but Agenda 2030 is being ushered in, and nobody's talking about it. You know, they're requiring them to have a um, a digital ID in Europe now, and they already formed that shit in China.
Wait, so
They
that's
got
what we should be
they
talking
have
about?
they have the
Wait, just so I'm
okay.
clear, instead of talking talking about the impending, the ongoing shutdown, the impending end of SNAP benefits, the president trying to strip Americans of their rights, even birthright citizenship, trying to send troops into different cities
Okay,
to illegally occupy those cities. We should be talking about the fact that they're using digital ID in Europe.
okay. Well, the fact that you classify that the things that you classified that way, it's no sense in me having continuing a conversation with you, because the only thing you're trying to do is argue
No,
about some
I've
bullshit.
just been
That
asking.
he's not illegally doing anything. How? I'm not even going to argue that point.
That
What I
may
was
not be
saying,
true. It hasn't been decided by the courts whether or not
no,
it's legal.
okay, but you're not trying to talk about no resolutions or no
I
shit
am.
like that.
No, it's
You
your fault. I
no
asked
no
you a
no
question. I asked
no
you a question. I gave you the whole floor. I said, "What
no,
should we
you
be
gave me
talking
some
about?"
bullshit. You gave me a bullshit ass partisan
No, I asked you. It was a flat
situation. No,
blanket question.
you
What
said a whole
should we
bunch of.
be talking
Hey,
about?
Emmanuel. Hey, Emmanuel. Okay, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay, is what is him bringing sending troops into those states illegal?
Maybe.
No, now you said that he was illegally doing that,
Well, hold
which
on. Wait,
proves my
Ron.
point.
Ron.
But
Ron.
which okay,
Ron, in all honesty, number one,
Emmanuel,
I don't believe that I
Emmanuel,
said that he was illegally doing
Emmanuel,
it. I said he was doing it.
Emmanuel.
But if the court hasn't made a decision as to whether or not it's
Hey,
legal,
hey,
how
hey,
am I
hey,
gonna
hey,
tell you?
dude, dude,
Yes.
and just like that, you know, you know, it, this motherfucker doing magic tricks around y'all ass,
Ron,
and y'all falling for it.
Ron, I
No,
asked you a
no,
simple question. Why can't
wait.
you?
You know
You
now,
said,
you
Ron.
you you you
Oh my
you
God.
really you
Oh my
really
God.
you
Ron.
really think he okay?
See, Ron, you
You
said a lot of this stuff is a distraction from what we should really be
okay?
talking about.
Okay.
I
Let me ask you
asked
a
you,
question.
what
You
should
really
we be
you really
talking about?
okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You really think now he has said brought all the generals from around the world, every last one, to Langley. Now, first of all, I think Darnell was in the Marines, and I know a whole bunch of other people was in the service. Could he get? I want y'all to answer yourself this question. Could he get every last person in command if within a week to go back to Langley, no matter where they was in the world? That's absurd.
Ron.
Then,
Ron.
wait a minute, just wait a minute.
Oh.
Just wait a minute. Then, to do it, just to fat shame them and not do anything else. What all I'm saying is, and like I said, you want to do that partisan bullshit.
What
You
parts?
know,
I asked
people
you a
people
simple question.
people need
Ron, you said we're
instead
not
of
talking. It's a distraction
okay,
from what we should
instead
be
of
talking about. And I
oh,
asked you one question. What should we be talking about?
okay, instead of talking about having a nice meal at home or whatever. They was all up in arms about getting the chief there, the talk at the church and all this other little shit. We need to get these young folks together and these churches and bring people collectively together and figure out what we're going to do with what's what's
For when the comet comes,
obvious
for
is
when
that
when when the aliens actually land,
what's
we should be coming up with a
obvious
plan.
what's obviously coming. You know, it was leaked that Amazon was going to replace 650,000 workers with robots. They leaked it out. They swallowed that shit up. 650,000 workers with robots.
So
We
that's
know they
what. So
have the
in your mind,
technology. Wait a
that's
minute.
what we should
We
be
know
talking about.
all right. Okay. We know they have the technology. You know, we sleeping right now.
Okay.
Everybody else has their little group.
Right.
The Jews have
Right.
have their little clique.
Yeah.
We
need a clique.
You
Okay,
all fun
may I
and
ask you
games.
one more question before you hang
All
up?
fun and games.
May I ask you one
Hey,
more
bye,
question?
bruh. Bye,
Just
bruh.
one question before you hang up.
What?
You said you were called to preach. You were called to the ministry. How
Yes.
did that call happen?
Okay. Well, how can I put it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, and I was with my first wife. And everything is happening. Everything was happening. I couldn't find a job for shit.
Okay.
Well, me and my wife split up in the different houses. Nothing. And me, a whole bunch of my friends. We was in Forest Park. You know, me and a whole bunch of my friends was chilling and one of my dudes was saying that one of my partners was acting different.
Okay.
And he was like, he in church now. And I was thinking in my mind, what else is gonna make a difference in you but God? But we it ended up all going up to Dayton. We was going to get some crack and go back and sell it.
Did you say did you say crack?
Get some crack, crack,
Okay.
and go sell it down in Wind Terrace.
Okay.
So now, mind you, I ain't got no money. I'm married. I got this coat that's way fucking too big. I'm struggling. I'm just twisting and running. I'm 20. I'm 20, got a baby. So anyway, we go up. We in the house where they was getting the crack, and people was just coming and going. And I was sitting there, man, and this girl walked in, man, and you could tell, man, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
She was beautiful. She was beautiful, but she was fucked up.
Oh.
I mean, her hair was, all over her head, and all that shit. So, she was, getting the crack, and she was like, it ain't for me, and everybody laughed at her, and I just felt sick. So we get the shit. We going. We was going back to Forest Park.
Okay.
But these niggas go keep straight. I'm like, man, where we going? We going down to the terrace. Oh. Okay, we go down to the terrace. I got three broken cigarettes. I ain't got no money. coat that's too big.
Big coat.
I'm in the back seat of one of my dude's car.
Backseat.
And man, I'm just like, damn, I just want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked over to my left, and my dude that everybody was talking about change was looking at me. And see, me and him was like real close. When we was in high school, he looking dead at me.
Uh-huh.
And I holler at him and stuff. And I'm like, man, I just want to go home. He was like, okay, I'm gonna take you home. So he taking me home. He basically witnessing to me while he taking me home. I agreed to go to church with him, and of course, like preachers do, as soon as they see a new face, they hooping and hollering and trying to get you to see a bite. But, I ain't bite, but I was convicted. So and I know this is it's a long story, and I ain't gonna try to keep it short. But I went to go see, my wife and my mother-in-law. They was holiness and all that, and she had heard that I went to church, with him, and they said that they having an alphabet selection, at her church. So
Wait, hold
I
on.
went up.
What is an alphabet selection?
Alphabet selection is you get a letter from the Bible, or you A B C D, and you say what that letter means to you. So
Okay.
I went, and the chick sitting behind me, man, she was just getting on my nerves, just laughing and joking with her. The chick got up and started talking about judgment, prejudging others. So everything was over, and the selection was over, and I was sitting down there, and my wife at that time, grandmother, she tapped me on my shoulder, and she said, "You want to receive the Holy Ghost?" And I'm telling you, and I said, "Yeah," but I didn't say yeah. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And this is for Black Lion, and I hope you listen, and I hope anybody listening that don't believe in God, because I didn't believe in the Holy Ghost.
Okay.
I didn't believe in speaking in other tongues and all that other stuff. No, you don't need that.
Right.
So, Mother Ellison asked me, if I wanted the Holy Ghost. I said yeah, and I'm walking now. I got holes in my, like I said, I got holes in my I've got a coat thing too big, holes in my bottom of my shoes, and I had paper towels wrapped in plastic in the bottom of my shoes because
Okay.
it was raining.
Okay.
Because it was raining, and she, they was, telling me I had to go carry for the Holy Ghost, and I heard the enemy just as clear as I hear God sometimes, and he said they gonna see the holes in the bottom of their shoes, and I told, I spoke in my spirit. I don't have nothing else to lose. I don't have nothing else to lose.
Okay.
And my spiritual mother got me down there, and she was like, say Jesus. And I'm like, Jesus, 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 Jesus. And boy, she looked at me. She said, open your mouth, boy. And boy, I spoke with other tongues as the Spirit of God gave utterance.
Okay.
And I was filled with the Holy Ghost, and cloven tongues of fire set upon me.
Okay.
And You can't nobody tell me anything different.
No, I'll take
Now,
your word for it.
but now when I finish
Okay.
when I finished shouting and everything, God was speaking to me when I was speaking. God was speaking to me as I was speaking. And I will tell anybody this. You know, God told me to go preach at that time.
Ah.
And now somebody, and I don't mind telling it. My ex-wife, I was when I calmed down and I sat down, I looked at my wife and I said, God told me to go preach. And she said, no, he didn't. It ain't time yet. No, he didn't. It ain't time yet. And man, I won't tell you how much it cost me for me listening to somebody else as to me not listening to God.
Oh.
But I mean, that was when I was first called, but I didn't go,
You
and
didn't.
I didn't go
No.
and accept that until I got a whole bunch of confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Bishop Hilton when I went to the man meeting, he was one of the ones that prophesied to me that the word of God is in my belly
No.
and healing is in your hands.
Oh.
So that somebody wondering why I ever had beef with him, that's why I had beef with him, because I know him, and he didn't know I knew him. But nevertheless, I'm glad I can't see the comments. My TV on another station, because I know they like my ass up.
Yeah, no. I
But
asked you a question. You answered the question.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
more questions, but I'm not going to ask them. We'll save that for another day.
yeah. All right, 100. Hey,
Yes.
man,
Yes, sir.
we need to get our ass together. We need to get our shit together. We got to get black folks together as one, and so everybody ain't gonna go.
Well,
Everybody
you
ain't
know
gonna
what
go.
might make that happen? If you listen
What's
to
that?
what God told you and do what God told you to do, you might be the one to
Oh
bring black
no,
people
I'm
together.
listening right now. I'm listening. I'm listening loud and clear, and he's speaking. He's speaking.
All right.
He's speaking, and I'm listening. 100.
23.
Yeah.
All right. That was Ron. He said God called him to preach. I just was curious as to, because when people say that, God called me to preach, I'm always curious as to how God calls you to preach. Like, burning bush type situation. You was in the desert, bush burned, God appeared, or what? And he shared his story. So there you go. He did catch me off guard a little bit when he said crack. But in the context of the story, it made sense. Oh my God. I gotta take the fame.
Hey, Emanuel, how you doing?
Fame, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pleasant per usual. Just like to say hi to you and all your fans, your listeners. This is Edsel. Just want to talk about some things that happened yesterday.
All right.
You're having a beef with a senior military guy.
I'm not having a beef with anybody.
You're having words of you having
No,
coarse words
I
with him.
expose somebody for what they did, and they did not like it. That's it. That's the whole
Well,
story. I exposed what somebody did. They didn't like being exposed, and now they're throwing a little girly hissy fit. That's it.
well, I mean, that person is a decorated military person.
They are
50
not.
years of
They are
broadcasting
not a
in this
decorated
city.
military person. You don't become a decorated military person playing records on the ship. But they were a
And
military
as
person.
bad as I want to tell you that you're trending asshole, I can't. I have to agree with you in dealing with this guy because there's nobody more disrespectful than old black people. And for you to do that just shows stand up and let them know that hey, I'm a grandpa too. But like them old black folks who were like right before our generation, some of the most disrespectful people you'll ever meet in life. Just look in the comments. There's certain elders in here. I ain't gonna say her name, but I always have to tell her, hey, stay out of young people's business. I'm old enough to be. I'm young enough to be your son. Watch how you talk to me. They think they're allowed to just be blatantly disrespectful, and we just got to deal with it. No. So kudos to you, Emanuel Lewis Livingston, or should I say Levingston?
No, not Livingston. I hate
because
those
the guy
Livingston.
yesterday called on my job, trying to steal all my shit. I guess he think I'm his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, dude, you that was offensive. It was jock right. See, we from the hip hop generation. We don't bite people.
Oh.
For you to come in and just bite on me like that, that was just it was terrible. It was painful to listen to. I mean, you're mumbling over my phrases and shit. Like, damn, like you can't even enunciate them. It was just like, if you're gonna be one of my followers, be one of my followers. I understand that imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but I think he put like this. I used to do this on another. I'm gonna do this one time on this show. I used to do this on another show. I had a rubric for how you could tell if somebody was a signifying monkey.
Oh.
I had 4 layers of. I had 4 qualifications, and I think he meets all of them.
Okay.
Number 1, he bloviates. Nobody, a signifying monkey will bloviate. 2, it's insufferable. I'd say this guy at this point, if you read the audience comments, he's rather insufferable. 3, fake tough guy. Did he not tell us he was the most gangster of Chicago, but somehow ended up in Cincinnati?
He did not tell us that, just so you know. He actually told us that he was on the bottom rung of the whole gangster hierarchy. But,
okay, so he was still involved in gang life.
Yes.
And he got in one little fight, and his mom got scared and moved him to Cincinnati.
Maybe. Okay.
And number 4, so he's a fake tough guy. And number 4, he's a professional Negro. And what I mean by that, professional Negro is not you're a black person that has a job. If you're a professional Negro, your whole job is being a Negro. Usually a Democratic male, all he'll talk about is the struggle and suffer that he goes through. A professional Negro. Him being a wannabe Republican, he's a professional Negro in being the Negro that he tries to think that they can reform. And that's how he's a professional Negro. So you add all 4 of those up: professional Negro, fake tough guy, bloviates, insufferable. It adds up to being a signifying monkey. And that's what I think Twin is.
Okay.
A signifying monkey. Okay?
If you say so.
Yeah, it's my own rubric. I'm sorry, and I wish Ron the best. I had to call it that because when I heard the replay, I was really chapping my ass for real. Like I was mad. Like damn, dude. Like just I don't know nothing about wolf on your ass or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a wolf on your back like Old Spice, but you had to know those commercials. But anyway, Emanuel, as Twin tried to say, it's always a pleasure. I enjoyed myself. We'll try this again sometime another day. And for those of y'all who don't know, yes, this is Edsel the Wolf that hunts in the daytime. But that full moon, that's my gang sign. Oh! A little extra on the howl. That's that bullshit he did yesterday.
All right. That was Fame. He pulled out the Fresh Prince line. That was kind of funny. A few people on here talking about they tired of the E-Man Lincoln wear stuff. Then say that to Lincoln. I know I'll be looking at the comments. I don't see y'all saying that to Lincoln. Come on. Y'all be all on his dick. Don't play me. Twin.
Lord have mercy. What's wrong with Fame, man?
He didn't like you biting him.
So you get on Lincoln and everything. Y'all back and forth.
What are you
Now,
talking
Fame,
about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Can we set a baseline?
Now Fame got on me, huh?
What are
For
you?
stealing his line, huh?
What man
Here,
Lincoln
Dad.
got
Here,
to do
Dad.
with
Here, Dad.
y'all back and forth?
Here. You say what?
What man Lincoln
Here,
got
Dad.
to do with y'all back and forth?
No, I had to think about it.
No.
He brought it up. You ain't say nothing to him. So what you mean? When he said something about you ain't go, what is it? Now Twin, huh?
Well,
Just say you got beef with me and I understand, man, so I can be alert.
Nah, because you was all on his dick too. So
No.
Yes, you
no,
was.
there you go with that old
Yes,
bitty
you was.
stuff, man. No, I was.
Yes, you was.
Who was?
You was on his dick.
On who?
Lincoln's.
No, that's you. You've been
Nah,
there
that was
25
you.
years with him. So
That
go
was
on
you.
here.
You was on his dick.
Man, whatever. I can say what I want to say.
You can. Hey, you still on
Okay,
his
I'm gonna
dick.
speak my mind.
Well, go ahead.
And I said, and I see why
asked
you
me. I
he
just
hit you and
told you.
stuff.
I would prefer to not even discuss it. But you was all on his dick
You
today.
go, you stay discussing him, man.
What are
You
you
stay
talking
discussing
about?
that man on your show. So
Oh
stop.
my goodness. So
I
then
prefer not to
don't
discuss.
talk about it.
You say what?
So then don't talk about it.
Oh, you go talk. I ain't got to talk about
All right
it.
then.
Because I don't really bring it up.
Move on.
But you do.
Then let's move on.
Well, it was a good call from Ron, man. And everything, people laughing. You know, I seen the comments, man. Man caught the Holy Ghost, he caught the Holy Ghost. I couldn't knock somebody, spiritual or whatever. I don't understand that, how people be shaming people,
Well, people
man.
don't necessarily believe. Everybody don't believe what you believe.
Okay, just stand on it and move on.
Well,
I can agree on like that ugly shirt you got on.
If he's telling his story on a public forum, people are going to respond to it.
Yeah, the way they respond is in a negative way, man. I don't never lift a brother, even if he say anything. They always shaming people. You probably the head nigga in charge of that too.
Yeah, I told everybody what to say. You're right.
No, you shame people too in the comments, so ain't nothing new. Whether it's on this platform or any other platform. That's Emanuel for you.
Okay.
Hey, E, man.
Yes, sir.
Real talk. Man, I was listening to that mayor, man. Did you listen to him today?
I heard him.
Man, I don't care what nobody say, man. That man, it's something about him, man. He's slick like that mousse grease in his hair, man. Lotion, whatever it is. And that man just won't take accountability for nothing.
What would you
like?
What do you think he needs to take accountability for?
Man, stand up and like, man, I let the city down, and I should never said crime was down, no gangs or whatever they say, and me just taking accountability, and then just to get rid of the chief and stuff, just scapegoat, like she's the problem or something like that. And I'm pretty sure she probably had all type of recommendation, like, hey, this is what we should do, we should initiative or whatever. We should do it like this.
Hold on.
And he probably
wait a second. What initiatives did she present?
She probably presented something. He vetoed it out.
Probably. What initiatives do you know? No, again, you saying probably. Tell me what you know.
I don't know, but she
Right.
said, and
So
they
if
said
you
it was
don't-
vetoed
so if
out. I'm
you
going
don't
by what the
know-
news say.
If you don't know, then you can't assume that because she said she
It's
did.
not
she
assuming if
telling
they
the truth.
if I'm listening to it on the social media and on the news, and they say she said out her mouth or whatever in the statement, I threw my initials out towards them to the city manager, him, and they veto it out. What she wants to bring about a city. If you
so
pay
wait a minute.
attention,
So you saying it's impossible for her to lie? She's Jesus.
I didn't say that, man.
Right.
You lie.
So-
Everybody
so
lie.
it
I
is
don't care you
possible-
lie or not.
So that's what
I'm
I'm
not
telling you.
here
It is
to judge you.
possible that she was lying. You're taking her word just because you saw her say it on TV.
Hey, you say you come on at 3:30. I'm taking you by your word. You will come
That's
on at
not
3:30.
what we're talking about. You
No,
said,
that's not.
You
No,
said
no,
she
no,
said
nigga.
it.
No,
All I did
nigga.
was
No,
ask
no,
you,
no, no,
what-
no. Don't
what
go there. Don't go
initiatives
there.
Did she present?
Man, don't go there, man.
What?
See how you flip this?
What
See how you flip this, man?
You said she presented some initiatives. I asked you a follow up, which I know is foreign to some
So
people.
you don't know about it then. So just say you don't know.
You
didn't
don't
see
know.
it.
You the one said she did it.
Okay.
I asked you
Okay.
what initiatives.
She throw her, gave advice with her. Hey man, we should do it. We should do that.
What
He
did she
vetoed it
say
out.
we should do?
Whatever she can. I don't know. I don't know
Right,
what plan it was.
So then you don't know whether or not she actually did.
I don't know. I'm going by what she said, though.
You don't know. So stop
Regardless
saying
of-
she did. You don't know if she did.
I don't even know I'm talking to a no-ass nigga like you. Like I said, I'm going off what she said and presented and what she said on that damn social media and the news. She said she plenty of times she threw in his face. This is what we should do.
Okay, so
he
do you
vetoed the shit out.
Twin, do you
so
believe,
go on with that, man. What part of
Twin,
you don't understand?
Twin, do you believe that the mayor didn't have anything to do with the chief being put away?
Getting fired?
What?
Oh, no administrative leave or something like that?
Yeah, do you believe the mayor had nothing to do with that?
Both of them had something to do with it. City manager and him.
Wait.
They
Because
both.
the mayor,
They
I
both.
saw the mayor and heard the mayor say that he didn't have nothing to do with it. So if you believe what the chief said, you
go on with
believe
that.
what
Him
the
and
chief
him
said.
and that lady, Longy.
Wait, you believe what the chief said with no information, so why don't you believe what the mayor said with no information?
I don't trust that nigga. That nigga lying.
So you trust
that nigga
her.
bald-faced ass lying.
but
He
you
couldn't
trust
even
her.
answer the question. Okay, babe. He couldn't even answer the questions and everything.
But you trust the chief.
Man, yes, I trust her ass.
Why?
On that note, man, I believe what she said,
Why?
man. It's a
Why do you
cover-up, man.
believe what she said?
If you sit there and read between the lines, ain't no that man sit up there and laugh.
Wait.
Usually show his little bald head
Why-
face, but he
why
wanna
do
he
you
wanna have
believe-
behind a microphone.
Why
Man, I don't care what
do
you say.
you
You can hold up
believe
coochie all you want,
what she
but let me
said?
tell you this. That man lied, man.
Why do
I
you
believe
believe
that
what
lady.
the
She
chief
threw,
said?
man, you can throw all the curveballs you want.
I'm
and
asking
shit,
a
it's up to
simple
you.
question.
What?
I'm asking it again. Why do you believe what the chief said is true?
Man, I believe she got 30, 40 years in the game. And she said,
And
I know how to, and
she
she
don't
probably
have
sat
30
down
or
with
40 years
her
as a
workers
chief.
or whatever. What you think we should come up with?
Wait.
And she sat down with, come on, if you give me a chance, quit talking
she
so
does
damn
not have
much.
40 years as a chief. I'm asking you, why do you believe what she said?
I believe because she in the game and she know, hey, man, this city getting hot. I've been here 3 years and we got to come up with some plan. Oh, hey, hey, man, here's my initiative on this. Here's my advice. Look, we should do it like this.
You have no idea
Oh,
what
no,
the
no, no,
initiative
no.
was.
She probably like, huh?
You don't know what the initiative was.
No, Harley. I hope she lay it out.
You
I don't
hope.
know. I know what I was I know what I was reading and whatever, and what they said on the news.
You sound really secure. You probably hope that she might have laid it out. Okay.
Man, I ain't even read to what I'm going by what she said, man. This is what she said on the news the other day.
And what he said is that he didn't have anything to do with her being placed on administrative leave.
That's bullshit. That's a lie.
So maybe
That's
what
a lie.
she said is a lie.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Maybe
all
they both
because
lying.
somebody I believe I can recall asked the same question.
Is it possible, Twin, that they are both lying?
No. I don't believe him.
It's
That nigga I don't
impossible.
believe.
So because you
No, I
don't
don't
believe
believe
it,
nothing
it
he
can't
say.
possibly be
I don't
true.
believe. No, I
That
don't
don't
believe
even
nothing
make
he
sense.
say. Only thing he good for is going to a non-profit or a gala concert or something event. Other than that, I don't believe nothing that mayor say. He a
All right.
compulsive ass life.
Okay.
Talking about potholes and all that. That's the only thing he brought up. When he brought up the real question, he couldn't. He bounced around that. Pay attention, man. See, you run your
Oh,
mouth too much.
you're
I
right.
pay attention to little shit.
No, you
That
really
man is
don't.
compulsive life.
You really don't.
Man, as a chief, look, real talk. Hey,
This
as a
is
chief
real
man,
talk.
I want to know why my city fucked up like this. What's really going on? She presented this. I believe she presented this.
Okay,
And
so
they ain't
you
like it.
believe
They
it,
said, we
but
don't
you
like
don't
this
know.
plan,
You
veto
don't
it.
know it to be true. You just
Man,
believe
yeah,
it based
whatever.
on nothing.
You D-riding his ass now. You fingering her ass too. Now go on with that bullshit, E. I know.
All right, that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. You believe her based on nothing, but you don't believe him. That's also based on nothing. Well, she said she presented him with, I think she probably might have said, that's your strong evidence. She probably might have said. I, I don't know where, DeAndre, I don't know where my fingers been. I don't know. She probably might have said. Look, I don't know if she telling the truth. I'm not just going to be like, I believe her because I read it on social media. Well, he said this, but I don't believe him. Why? I just don't. I don't believe him. Then why do you believe her? I just do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't believe that the mayor had nothing to do with it. I don't believe that. I can't prove it, but I don't believe it. And I don't believe she was running around giving solutions to violence. I don't believe that either. I don't. There's probably some truth somewhere in the middle. The mayor might not have directed the city manager to do what the city manager did. He knew. He could have said no. You know what I'm saying? He your boss. He could have said no. You're not doing that. It would have been behind the scenes. Nobody would have known. So it wouldn't have been like, oh, he's stepping on her power. Nobody would have known. So he knew. And I support the chief 100%. All right. But then the city manager put her on administrative leave. I support the city manager 100%. Now, how you support both of them 100%? What? You think that the chief is doing an amazing job? You have 100% confidence in her. But you think she should put on paid administrative leave at the same time? Because she's not effective. Both of those things almost can't exist at the same time. They can't. And it is possible, like the mayor said, overall in the city, crime is down. Now, I don't know. I don't look at the statistics. And again, I don't necessarily believe the statistics. I don't. I don't necessarily believe the statistics. Because people report what they want to report, all of that kind of stuff. But it's possible for crime to be down all over the city, but certain areas for crime to be up in those areas, or certain types of crime for crime to be up. All of that is possible. Ron,
What up, man?
how are you doing?
Blazing, you already know.
Oh, well, what's on your mind?
Huh?
What's on your mind?
I don't know, goddamn, what's on your mind?
I'm
I
talking
just
about.
gotta talk to you and kick the bobo with you, player.
Oh, well, let's kick the bobo. Um, what do you think about these SNAP benefits? About the I don't know what kick the bobo mean. If that's an offensive term, I apologize to whoever's offended by it. So, what do you think about these SNAP benefits ending?
To be honest with you, for real, if you are able-bodied to work, you know what I'm saying, get up out there and do that. But as far as the babies and the elders, I don't think that's right, man. I feel real bad, you know. Excuse.
Oh, Jesus.
Excuse.
Help him, Jesus.
I think it's wrong.
Help
I
him.
think it's wrong, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gonna get deep up out here, man.
Well, hold on. May I point something out to you? A number of people who receive benefits, they work. It's not like people just sitting around playing video games and then some benefits come in the mail and then they go buy some food and then sit there and eat while they're playing video games.
Well,
A
you
whole
know,
lot of people who get benefits, they also work, like full-time jobs.
I know that, but you know what I'm saying. Our community got down. You done had generations of folk just living off of that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't all in their business or nothing, but if you were able-bodied, you know what I'm saying?
But
You gotta
but
want to do something.
that's why I'm trying to express to you, because you keep saying it like the overwhelming majority of people who get benefits don't work or something like that. But that's
No,
not
I ain't saying that, Black. I ain't saying that at all. I understand exactly what you're saying, boss man.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad out here. It's. I was looking at I be looking at the CNN. I look at news, MSNBC. I look at news a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm.
If I ain't reading no book, I'm looking at the news. And what's going on in Chicago is crazy. How far you think that's gonna reach out, man? And what we gonna do?
Exactly what are you talking about? It's a number of things going on in Chicago. So I'm not.
You ain't see yesterday the judge making the head of the ICE dude, whatever his name is, making him come in and report to her every morning. You ain't see nothing about that?
I did
Like
not
you
see
made
that.
him do well, yeah. I don't know, dude. Excuse me.
Helping Jesus. Helping.
Excuse me. I don't know dude name down there in Chicago, but he running the ICE thing. And they just been running buck wild. We knew it was coming for us sooner or later.
But what are they doing that makes you say they're coming for us?
We brown and black people. They ain't doing what they said they was gonna do. I can't get my words out together, but you know, quit smiling. I can't see you, but I know you smile.
I wasn't, but I will. Just
Well, you know what I'm talking about. They ain't doing what they supposed to be doing as far as whatever ICE was supposed to be set up for. Now they coming in and they just harassing us. Well, it's the police again. They just got a greater police force, and they got more vests and more helmets coming into the motherfucking hood. And they done cut the stamps. So a hungry person is an angry person. And we gonna have to do something, man.
they
'Cause
hungry,
it's
they
gonna get
angry, but weak. So That kind
Check
of
that
balances
out.
out.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Check that out. Check that out.
I, I I don't. At least I hope it's not gonna get as bad as people are predicting. I know it's not gonna get as bad as quickly as people are, making out to be. And it's like I know a whole lot of those videos.
We'll see Monday.
But I know a whole there's not no big epidemic Monday gonna break out. People are not gonna be rioting in the streets on Monday because they didn't get
Nah, I don't
their
think that. Nah,
benefits
I
or
don't see
anything like
that.
that.
I
And
don't
a,
see
and a
that.
lot of those videos, the videos of black women talking about how they gonna be stealing and this and this and that. A lot of those videos were AI generated to,
Respect.
create whatever you want to call it.
I ain't feeding into that, but at the same time, man, it's a reality for real. And it's the babies, man, that I'm worried about. It's gonna get cold. You know what I'm saying? And that salt and all that shit in them noodles and them ramen out, that ain't good neither. You dig what I'm saying?
I do dig what you're saying.
It's just, man, I feel some kind of way. It's bad. It ain't nothing I could do about it.
Well, it probably. Are you lighting up right now? Was that a
Yeah.
lighter that I just heard?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Ron, hey, I appreciate your call.
It ain't no crack. How you know I don't smoke cigarettes or something?
I'm glad because you told me you was smoking weed. You told us. You told us you was.
Is that against the law?
Maybe not. I don't think it is necessarily here in Ohio. I don't want to hear the lighter and hear you.
Okay, I won't do it again. I won't do it again. I won't do it. I
Okay.
won't do it again. I'll show you that respect. I won't do it again.
All right.
All right, man.
But all right, did you have anything else on your mind?
Man, be a whole bunch of shit on my mind. I keep telling you, but
Yeah,
they keep flashing across my forehead. I can't catch one.
All right.
All
Well,
right, man.
I do
What?
appreciate your call though.
Yeah, this shit fun.
All right.
Respect.
52.
One. Only one. Not no 6 and 7, none of that. You know what one mean. Quit playing.
I genuinely don't.
One love, one respect.
Oh.
One man, one woman.
All right.
Respect. One.
Word.
Respect.
All right. Okay. One that I didn't know. Look, y'all. I don't know all of this stuff. I don't know all of this stuff. That fake coughing and did some. I don't know all of this stuff. So yeah, you gotta explain it to me. Now I know what he means when he says one. All right. Okay. Good. Cause for real, I was about to say 57. 57. Okay. So that's I barely remember what we was talking about. I think I got a contact high. I think I got a contact high via phone. Cause my head and my thoughts are racing across my forehead. And that's a lot of space for thoughts to race. My thoughts are racing and I can't catch one. So I don't remember exactly what we was talking about. I did finally read a story about the messages between the chief and the city manager. And after reading that, I agree more and more with the city manager. You can't be, you can do anything. But it's not right as the police chief to be announcing stuff publicly before the city manager knows. And let me see if I can. Hold on. Okay, there was that. Tex, Chief. Okay, looking for a scalp. In her email, this is from WCPO.com, and Taylor, is it Welter or Whiter? It's the byline. I'm not exactly sure which. Oh, now I done passed it up because I had to go back up. All right. Hold on. Okay, she said that was then. Then in her email, Long, the city manager, says she was caught off guard after the police chief announced she would join a Hamilton County Police Chief's task force at a previous press conference. Your chief is joining some county chief's task force, and you haven't told the city manager this? You're officially announcing that you're joining a task force without asking your boss about or even informing your boss of. Y'all know that's out of line. And then, hold on, there's more. CK?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston?
CK, I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's Thursday, and I came to work in this rain, and I was listening to Ron, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, I still got Ron on the screen.
All right. Is it okay?
No, I was just saying I still got Ron's name on the screen, and I done talked to, I think, 2 or 3 callers since then.
I like that, though. That proves that you're not a computer. You are a human freaking being. You make mistakes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, and like you said, when it comes to boycotting Thanksgiving, I'm going to be completely blunt with you, sir.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you, sir.
You can't? Okay, there it is. Hold on, let me see. Is that better, sir?
That's better.
I apologize. That was, hello?
Yes.
Okay, that's better. So look, when it comes to Thanksgiving boycott, I live to eat, sir. So Thanksgiving is like one of the greatest days ever invented. I mean, you got the people mixed with the food. You see what I mean? Like you got Aunt Sweeties, gumbo. You got all type of different traditions. So we can't boycott such a great event. I mean, I wanted to get your thoughts on that, sir. About, just the food alone is enough. Macaroni and cheese.
Well,
you willing to give it that up?
I mean, of course you could, withhold your dollars from the grocery stores and all of that stuff instead of participating in that event and, pare it down. Just eat a regular meal. Have family over, eat a regular meal like you normally would, but then just visit your family later.
But ain't that how we celebrate our life? Ain't every day Christmas and holidays for us? I mean, in your everyday life, it's like, that's why a lot of us men don't like to celebrate these holidays because we do it every day of our lives. We don't have to celebrate Valentine's Day. Baby, I take you out every weekend. See what I mean? So Thanksgiving is like that. We having Thanksgiving. Y'all probably had to get together 2 Sundays ago. Am I right?
Well, then using that logic, there's no reason for you to celebrate Thanksgiving.
But Thanksgiving is go harder. They go harder on Thanksgiving. Everybody comes with their secret recipe meal. You know what I mean? You got grandma's this, you got aunties that. I mean, so many cousins, LaShawn. Come on now. Are you forgetting? And when you mix this blended Thanksgiving, I mean, so you sound like you're leaning toward boycotting.
No, you asked me what my thoughts on it. I'm just saying, if you want to, then do. If you don't, then don't. But using the logic that you were using, you were making the argument for boycotting, even though you thought that you were making the argument against.
Oh yeah, and you know, it's hard for a person like me to boycott, considering all the Thanksgivings and Christmases I've already missed due to double overtime and a half. You see what I mean? So when you be getting double time and a half at work, that makes you miss every holiday. Do you understand, Livingston?
I
Because
don't
then,
understand. I don't understand. Again, it sounds like you're arguing for boycotting Thanksgiving.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I wouldn't like to do that. I mean, I understand the need to do it because of the food stamp crisis, but I like it. I like it because of the ones I miss. I look forward to it, E-Man. E-Man, I look forward to Thanksgiving. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Okay.
And I like the spread. I like the spread. I like the, yeah, yeah. But,
CK, I am not trying to convince anyone to boycott, and I'm not trying to dissuade anyone. The question was asked, and I gave my shot at giving an answer, and that was that. So I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other.
are you a fan of the turkey?
I'm not a huge fan of the turkey, as you put it.
Right. So, you know, we've been Cornish hens lately. Last 3-4 years, we've been Cornish hens. We've been toning down from that big old giant dry body turkey. Let's tone it down a little bit. Cornish hens will be suffice. Maybe make 4 of them. I'm all about cutting down, but I just can't cut out.
Okay.
Do you understand? Yeah.
I do. I do understand that. Now, someone wanted me to ask you: did you make it to the concert?
Yes. I did go, and the first day was pleasant, but then that night the vehicle we drove down in was attempted to be broken in, and the door was pried, and so we left and didn't go to the second concert. We was feeling a little bad about the attempted break-in.
Okay.
But it was a festive event. But the day that I did go, I went the night Future went. My old ass did not make it to Future. No, I left early. It was 11 when I left. Future was not up by then. So
did you? But Marvin Sapp opened for Future, right?
No. Well, I think Marvin Sapp. I think he performed earlier. I think he's like a 2:30 performer in the daytime.
Oh.
He ain't fooling around. Yeah. But hey man, it was a tremendous event. Lock up your cars when you're down there. Get security. I would prefer a garage, but because of the crisis that's going on, it was a little dampered. But I did get me some crystals. I got me some crystals, Livingston. I got me some crystals, and
Now,
I got Del Taco.
Okay, wait, say that one more time.
I got Del Taco and I got crystals. They got crystals.
Okay, so you're
down
talking
south.
about the burgers. Okay, the
Yeah.
fake White
Did
Castles.
you like them? Yeah, the fake. Did you like them?
I didn't hate them. They're just slightly different than White Castles.
Right. Yeah, just went down there, got my little food on. I like Bojangles and churches. Those are the type of places I like to hit when I'm down south. But eating and Buc-ee's. Have you been to Buc-ee's since y'all been on have you been on a road trip with the Buc-ee's thing yet?
Yeah, I've been to Buc-ee's.
Oh, ain't it tremendous, Livingston?
No. I mean,
You're not impressed?
No, I'm not. I'm not against it, but people be making it out to be something that it's really not. It's just like a really big convenience store. I guess it all depends on what you like. They do have, if you a person who like beef jerky,
Brisket.
you know what I'm saying, then you will love it. It's maybe the best place in the world. And they have other little things in there, but it it's a convenience store where you can get some hot food. Like Wawa and Buc-ee's, I'm not on the bandwagon. It's a
Now tell me
convenience
about
store.
Wawa. I never been there, man. What is Wawa?
A convenience store that sells some hot food.
Okay, you've been to both, so please tell me honest. Don't be biased. Who is the best out of the two, out of your customer experience?
They're different. Buc-ee's is much bigger typically. Um,
Okay.
you're probably not gonna have your big lineup of beef jerky at Wawa, you know. But I don't know a
What's their
whole lot of
specialty?
people
What's
that
their
just
beef jerky?
run around eating
What's
beef
Wawa?
jerky all the time. So
Hold on, what is Wawa's? What's their beef jerky? What's their specialty over there
I don't know that
on
they got
Wawa
no
side?
specialty like that. It's a little kitchen inside and you can order food and they cook it and you eat it.
Well, Bucky's got the gang sold out because of the brisket, sir. It's because of the brisket. So you're not a big fan of brisket.
No, but I mean, even so, it's just a little hot meal. It ain't that big of a deal. It's a gas station where you can go in and buy a whole lot of different varieties of beef jerky or turkey jerky or deer jerky or possum jerky or, raccoon jerky or whatever. And, some other hot foods. It's a convenience store. That's it.
Hey, man, that's tremendous. Thank you, man, for taking my call, man. I needed it, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I just like to hear your opinion of because I remember you talked about this on your platform before, and I was tickled to death then. That is funny how you feel about these places that I look up to. You look at them just like, I look up to these places. You be like, it's just a little gas station. It ain't nothing, little beef jerky. What you talking about? You're not impressed.
No, no.
That's funny. It's funny that you're not impressed with it. Because I'm like blown away. It's like a Toys R Us for me. It's like they built it for me almost. It's like, I guess I like beef jerky.
If you like beef jerky, then you'll love you some Buc-ee's.
Hey, God bless the family. Thank you for taking my call, brother.
All right, CK.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's CK. People do be hyping up these gas stations. And because again, to me, that's what Wawa is. It's a gas station, and they got a hot food section. You can go in and order hot food and drinks. And other than that, what difference did any other gas station? But I don't know. That's just me. Something is wrong with me clearly because I'm not impressed by really large gas stations that serve hot food. It's something I got to work on. But that's just the way I see it. Okay. So then there was an email. The city manager emailed the police chief that she was caught off guard after Fiji, and I know it's Fiji, after Fiji announced that she was going to join a Hamilton County Police Chief's task force at a press conference that she didn't know nothing about. She was caught off guard. She asked her, please make sure you connect with me before announcements are made public. That's what she said, before creating new steps that Fiji must follow before any announcements, communications, or political engagements. This all sounds reasonable to me. You the police chief, but you don't go making announcements about stuff before you communicate that. Effective August 15th, Long told Fiji any meetings or communications must be reviewed with city spokesman, I'm going to say Moliere. and me before any messaging is executed. That's reasonable. None of this stuff is unreasonable. You can't just arbitrarily run out there, hold a press conference, and announce some stuff that me or the city spokesperson don't know nothing about. She also said any political agenda items, like meetings with elected officials, candidates, or political bodies, must be discussed with the Director of Government Affairs and me prior to any action being taken. And then she explained these steps are required to ensure alignment, avoid miscommunications, maintain clear separation between administration priorities and political activities. Again, all reasonable. This is all reasonable. And I see people saying, this is micromanaging. This is not micromanaging. Can you just run out, say the company that you work for right now comes up with a new initiative and you find out about it. You hear about it. Oh, we're doing this new thing. And then you go hold a press conference to talk about it. You ain't talked to nobody else in the company. You just go out and hold a press conference. I don't know, you're a manager at a local McDonald's. And they tell you, hey, we bringing back the McRib starting November 12th. Well, it's just a few people here. But we ain't launching that campaign yet. And then you go out and hold a press conference talking about, oh, we bringing back the McRib, y'all. What are you doing? What is the way that we do this stuff? You can't just go telling everybody McRib coming back. We gotta put together commercials. Do the whole ad campaign. A big time launch. Oh, you out there just announcing stuff without telling nobody. Come on, y'all know that's wrong. And I also believe there's a racial element to it. Now, on this part, I might be, somebody might say I'm stretching a little bit. But do you really think if there was a white male city manager, they would have been caught off guard by announcements made by the police chief? I ain't got to tell her what I'm doing. I'm the police chief. People tend to respect. Now, I think this is, kind of across the board. It's not everybody, but across the board, people tend to respect white male managers more than black female managers. People don't necessarily want to take orders from a black female manager, but they'll do it from a white man. There is something to that. There really is. There really is. But, I could be reading into that part. But there's nothing unreasonable about the city manager not wanting to be caught off guard with the police chief announcing, I'm joining some county task force. We should know that. The city and the communications department should know that before you go announcing it at a press conference. Believe it or not, you work for the city. You can't just, well, I'm the police chief. So what? You still ain't the person that calling all of the shots. You're an employee. And what is unreasonable about, hey, look, we have to be careful and make sure that, we don't mix your your official business with your personal political leanings. Like I'm meeting with this candidate. Are you meeting with that candidate as you? Or are you officially meeting this candidate as the police chief? Are you mingling politics with your official duties? We got to make that kind of delineation. Like, what are we doing? That's reasonable to me. That's reasonable. It makes sense. All right. D says, oh, Nate.
Hey man, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
I want to chime in on this topic that you're talking about, the city manager,
All right.
and share my perspective for what it's worth. Will she need me? No. Okay. See you later. I'll be back.
Was that Denise?
Yes. Yeah. He said, "Is that Denise?"
Hi, Uncle Caleb.
Did you hear it? Hi, Uncle Caleb. All right. I'll be back. Oh, okay, I gotta. I might have called you at the wrong time. Let me call you back.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, that's, y'all don't understand. It's very funny. To her, I'm Uncle Caleb. Oh, there's a story behind that. But oh, got to love the little kids. Emanuel love the kids. Oh, y'all don't understand. I have fun with kids all of the time. I'm Uncle Caleb because I tried to convince her when she was littler that her middle name was Denise. It's not Denise. Oh, and I tried it for a long time. And so she got tired of fighting me on it. And she just accepted Denise. But since she was Denise, I became Uncle Caleb. Oh, so it's just been a ongoing, really long term inside joke. Oh, her name is nothing like Denise. I thought I had her for a little while. I was gonna make her believe that her middle name was Denise. She didn't fall for it. Okay, what were we talking about? We were talking about the city manager. So yeah, okay. Does that mean necessarily that she should be fired? I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying that she should be fired, but I'm just saying this was brought up yesterday. And I wasn't aware of, really what they were talking about. And so I was kind of throwing stuff out there. But then I read it, and I'm even more resolute in my support for that position. I'm more resolute in my support for that position, that, the city manager was not out of line in making those demands, laying down that set of rules. And I genuinely, and maybe somebody can help me. What did the police chief do that was so good for black people? Because I'm hearing a lot of black people all on her tip. And I'm like, seriously, I'm like, what did she do? Why are y'all all on her bird? Like, did she? I know, I be working and then I don't have a job now. I'm working and going to school, all of that kind of stuff. What did I miss? What did I miss? Like, oh, the chief is the best chief. I heard somebody, either I didn't hear them, either they said it or they put it in the chat. This is the best chief we ever had. I'm like, how? What did she do to make her the best chief we ever had? What did she do to make, in particular, black people be like, oh, we can't lose her? What did she do? I'm not saying she didn't do anything. I'm saying I'm unaware. And of course, we don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know what her relationship was with her boss. We don't know if she was following orders and or protocol or anything like that. Yeah, if I recall, she did side with the officer in the hidden case. She was any other police officer. So I don't know what y'all seeing and what y'all hearing. CK ain't got no sense. Sometimes see, this ain't gonna seem fair. This is not gonna seem fair to say. But sometimes some of us, man, we fall in love with a white face. And for real, that's why I'm asking, like, what? What? Like, I mean, other than, is we sick, boss? What is it? I love that white woman. What is it? And I'm not even saying be against her. I'm really rather indifferent. I'm like, she did some stuff that I didn't care for that I can kind of recall. Especially the Hinton thing, super duper 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 blurring that video. But other than that, what did this police chief lady do that's got y'all in a spell? Let me tell you. Hold on, Nate. Let me tell you. I watched the movie last night. Not a great movie, by the way. The movie is called Weapons. I don't want to spoil the movie, except to say that, that might spoil the movie. Okay, I won't say it, but I'll just say, if I say that, it'll spoil the movie too. So I just won't say anything. Nate!
Hey, all right. I won't be interrupted this time, I don't think. So, I can tell you from my perspective, watching what I think Fiji did for black people.
All right.
She got rid of all the black lieutenant commanders. She made them all white people. And no matter what people say, they give preference to people who have been in top leadership in the police department when they're deciding who to pick to be the next chief. And that's why the guy who is the interim police chief was in her inner circle, a white guy. Now, he deserves a little bit of credit because he signed off on the ticket, not the arrest warrant, because they never arrested the white Russian immigrant who did the slap. We call him the slapper. They never arrested the slapper, but he did at least sign off on the ticket, and that was after he took a lot of flack from the people who should have been signing arrest warrants for him. So that's what she did. She didn't do anything beneficial. Now, not a lot, but some of the insiders liked Teresa because she was friends with Iris Rowley. Let's just call it what it is. She was friends with Iris. She went along with a lot of that stuff that Iris said, and Iris kind of had an open door to her. And so if you friends with Iris and you like Iris having that kind of access, then you might say, well, I liked her, But if you, or I say, if an average citizen tried to get an audience with Teresa, you couldn't do it. Let me tell you what else she did to black people. Internal affairs, she pretty much gave them full reign to protect and defend bad police officers. Internal affairs in the Cincinnati Police Department is a mess. And I'm telling you, I know some people on the inside, it's a mess because Teresa Thigi let it become a mess. And people like me were on the city manager's case saying, why aren't you managing that police chief? This ain't the first time that she went to some governmental official and got smart or made some promises, got out of line, went rogue, whatever you want to call it. Remember when she went over to the school board, those elected members of the Cincinnati Public Schools Board of Education, and they're appointed a superintendent and went to talking smack to him. She had no problem on numerous occasions talking real smart to parents in the city. Now, if you're the city manager, this employee of yours is out here saying some stuff that a lot of people consider to be out of place, out of order, and offensive. What y'all need to be doing to y'all kids. Who are you to do that? Speaking as the chief of police, I think she was out of order on a number of occasions.
I agree.
And
I
so,
remember that, and a lot of people loved it. Like, oh yeah, but I also thought that was out of order.
And if I remember the stories, the reporting at the time, she didn't get approval before she did that. She just popped up. Because if you remember, the school boards was like, why did she come in here? Usually if something like this is going to happen, you would have called us ahead of time. You would arrange, for some time to speak, be the meeting before the meeting. And Izzy went with the people who were saying, you did a good job. But I remember at the time saying, no, she was out of order. People on the black radio, I don't know. I can't remember, if it was half and half or a majority. But she said some stuff out of order to some of them elected judges. Again, it's a reason you got a city manager. It's a reason you got a city spokesperson. It's a reason why you got, forget what you call the title, intergovernmental affairs. Anybody who has ever worked for a federal governmental agency knows if you did what DG did on any one of them things I just mentioned, you'd have been fired. You can't go out here representing the agency. They tell you that on day one, and they enforce it. So, so much for that. Now, to sort of go along with this, there's a story in the Inquirer right now. I read it about an hour ago. Well, probably about 2 hours ago. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So
How could I
one of
possibly?
the bad cops that Fiji and them have been protecting.
Oh, that story. Okay, yeah, I know what story you're talking about.
Yeah, were you familiar? I wasn't familiar with that. This was the first time I heard about it in the Inquirer.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with it before. Somebody had I think text me about it and was asking me about it, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. I'll have to go read the article. So I'd heard about it, but I still haven't read all the details.
Well, let me give them a little summary for those people who saying what they talking about. Basically, you got a police sergeant who's been on the force for a lot of years. He's driving one day in an unmarked car. I think it's his personal vehicle. It might have been his personal vehicle, or it was an unmarked police car. Anyway, you got a car driven by I'm guessing she's a younger black woman, and she's got a female passenger in the car with her. So two black females driving in a car. They say that this cop was basically engaged in road rage. They blow the horn at him, and he gets so mad that he pulls his car in front of him, blocks him, jumps out of his car, he ain't in no uniform. He's not in the marked vehicle. He don't have a badge. He comes up and demands that they give him license, ask them what are they thinking, what are they doing. They start recording, because what else are you gonna do these days? You got a phone. If something jump off, you push the record button.
Absolutely.
So they record this interaction. Long story short, this guy winds up putting him in handcuffs. Calling for a squad car to come with uniformed officers, puts him in the back of the car for 40 minutes, it says. And for those who ain't ever been in handcuffs, that's a long time to be sitting. It's uncomfortable.
Yes, it is.
And sit him back there for 40 minutes while he try to make up some charges, try to get the other officers to sign off on disorderly conduct, try to get them to sign off on obstruction, because when he, without uniform, demands that they turn over their license, they say, no, we don't even know if you're a legitimate police officer. So in the end, they didn't arrest him, but they made him go through the court ordeal. And they telling them stuff, and all this is on video. They telling them stuff like, they telling each other, oh, well, we done did all this stuff now. We done handcuffed him. We got to charge him with something. They go through months and months and months of court. Eventually, the city decides to drop the charges. They get the charges expunged, and then they file a complaint with the Citizen Complaint Authority. The Citizen Complaint Authority asks for the videotapes, the body camera. They get a judge. I'm trying to find out what the name of the judge is. They get a judge to say, nah. Because y'all waited until the charges have been dismissed and the case has been sealed, we don't have to give y'all the body cam video. It's part of the evidence, and that evidence is sealed. And so it just so happens it was another, I guess the dash cam video wasn't part of the evidence, and so it wasn't sealed, and the Citizen Complaint Authority got that video. Somehow they got some video, but they didn't get all the video because of this judge. Now, it's apparently an internal affairs, and it's at Citizen Complaint Authority. But to go back to Fiji, how does Fiji, this guy ain't been, according to the report I just read, he ain't been suspended not one day. Why did DG not suspend this guy? Why didn't the city manager suspend this guy? Why aren't they pushing internal affairs to come down on these bad and rogue cops? And yesterday, I saw a press conference. Oh, let me, before I move on. A black female sergeant wound up getting involved in that case. She wound up getting called to the scene. You know, we push for, we got to have black people in all these offices, including on the police department, because when a white cop is doing something bad, we hope that the black cop will have enough strength and enough courage to say, we're not going along with this.
Right.
You know, and in this instance, hey, take them out of handcuffs, let them go. We ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? You just got mad because they honked at you. And in fact, this guy found some ordinance. It's against the law in Cincinnati to honk your horn at somebody unless it's an emergency situation. Something crazy. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I wasn't familiar with it. And so a whole bunch of people, I'm sure, could be arrested or detained for blowing a horn.
Right.
Who knew that was a law? So she might have made it easier and stopped him from actually physically taking him to jail. And he wanted to tow their car. He wanted to, you know, all the stuff that they do to make it inconvenient on citizens and to pressure them into copping a plea to some kind of, you know, charge. Okay, if I plead guilty, will y'all let me have my car back? And then another little piece of the story was this girl, this young lady, was apparently homeless and living in her car. I don't know if the other girl was a girlfriend or a friend or a family. I don't know what their relationship was, but they might have both been living in the car, and they said that she was using the car as a living space and also to do DoorDash or Uber Eats or one of them food delivery places. So he knew he had him, you know, he knew he had leverage on him because she really, really needed that car. And so when he did what he did, you would hope that the black female sergeant who came to the scene would have said, hey, look, I don't care how many years you've been on the force. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You trying to trump up some charges on them. Let them out of them handcuffs and let them go on about their business. And you just suck it up that somebody blew their horn at you and made you mad. So, but she didn't do that. None of the white officers did it. And so I hear you talking a lot about we expect good cops to stand up to bad cops. Or even if they ain't bad cops when they doing something bad. In that moment, you are a bad cop because you're doing something bad. None of that happened in this situation. And so I read the story, literally read it twice, and there's a video that goes with it. And I was just so mad watching it because the whole system seems to be breaking down on a lot of these areas. Now, let me just move on slightly. We're still talking about Fiji and still talking about the city manager.
Well, before you do that, let me
breakdown.
just say this. I was saying this yesterday. Probably the reason that officer didn't do anything is because they know if you do something, you might be perfectly right, but you will still get investigated and forced out, and you'll be out there with no job, and they ruin your reputation. So where other police departments will hire a dirty cop, they will not hire a cop who has done the right thing to stop another cop from doing the wrong thing. Like there is this punitive piece of it. And that's also a part of why they do the stuff. It ain't always, oh, we want you to take a plea and we want you to do this and we want you to do that. Like I've heard cops say, you might beat the case, but you won't beat the ride. In other words, okay, right. I know I ain't got nothing, but you gonna be inconvenienced. You ain't gonna like them handcuffs. You ain't gonna like that time that you spend in jail. You ain't gonna like having to go through the court process for the next 6 months or whatever. Even if they find you not guilty, you still, like you said, were inconvenienced for all of that time. And that's what they want. They just want to punish you because I'm mad at you. So I'm gonna punish you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I spent a lot of time when I lived in Cincinnati down in Cincinnati City Hall. I worked with the people in the council people's office as well. You know, not just the council people, but they assist. You know, they have like 2 or sometimes 3 assistants. And one thing was made perfectly clear to all, not just council and legislative aides or whatever, you know, in that system, but every city employee was told multiple times throughout the year, you do not bring political signs, you do not do politicking, you do not do campaigning while on the clock for the city or ever at City Hall. I've seen, and the newspaper used to follow this. They would. I remember one time they found like some campaign signs. Somebody had brought them in, and I forget what their excuse was. But they said, you know, we was just keeping them here inside the office, and then we was gonna take them and put them out later on or something like that. And it was a big deal. I watched yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that I've seen this guy enough that I know Ken Kober was part of this display, this rally and this protest and this exhibition that they put on at City Hall yesterday. And I'm wondering to myself, why were they allowed? They came down there with these "We support the police chief" shirts on. And I want to say it was probably, from my count, it's probably 25, 30 of them. And right outside council chambers, they went out there and literally said, we want people to vote for Corey Bowman. That's politicking all day long. You ain't seen nothing from the city manager. You ain't seen nothing from the mayor. You ain't seen nothing from the council people. If you or I went down there and said, for example, I'll leave you out of it. If I went down there with some handcuffs, which I actually thought about doing, with a pair of handcuffs and a shirt that said, arrest Evan Nolan now, and decided to start raising my voice and making a ruckus outside of council chambers, they would have sent that, I forget what they call it, sergeant at arms. They would have sent that police officer out there. He would have told me to stop it, and if I didn't stop it immediately, they would have thrown me out of City Hall, and they would have threatened to arrest me for criminal trespass if I proceeded after they warned me. None of that happened to these white people down here, including to the FOP president. Now, people who have been in unions know, even if you get elected the president of the union, you're still an employee of the company. So I don't understand. If AFSCME had did that in reverse and said, you know what, we standing for AFTAB, so we're going to come down here on the Wednesday before the election, and we're going to wear some shirts that say, we support the city manager and the city council, and then start talking to the newspaper reporters and the TV reporters about, we support AFTAB. They wouldn't have been treated like the FOP president and his gang of pro-Teresa Thiesy people. Do you get what I'm saying? And so the city manager and the mayor and the council, they look weak. They look impotent because y'all have let Teresa go so long. And now, even though Teresa Thiesy is suspended, y'all still letting Ken Kober run wild. Nobody's checking him. He's out here saying all these political things. He's doing. I'm like, man, I believe that's a problem, and it's gonna come back. Even if AFTAB gets reelected, which I'm not on the ground, but if he had a better campaigner than J.D. Vance's little brother, I believe AFTAB would be in serious trouble right about now. Well, so he ought to thank God that Corey Bowman was his opponent and not somebody, maybe somebody from Cincinnati, maybe somebody with some political experience. I don't know. I don't have no names, but he better be real grateful that Bowman is the one who wound up challenging him.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, can I respond to some of this stuff that they radicalize Ron them? They think they so slick. If President Biden was in the White House, if Democrats controlled the Senate and the House of Representatives, and the government was shut down for over a month, and millions of people were about to lose their food stamps, right, as we go into Thanksgiving month, and hundreds of thousands of federal employees had missed a paycheck, and I believe they either about to miss their second paycheck. He would not be calling up here talking about we need to focus on 17 comets out there. He would not be doing that. He would not be talking about, what was the other thing he said we should be focused on?
I don't remember.
Started with the
digital
comments.
IDs in Europe.
Yeah. Right. And so, again, they keep talking about we are independents. We are not Trumpsters. We are not MAGA. We're not conspiracy conservatives. But they cannot bring themselves to say Trump is messing up. I remember before the election, and I was so mad. He did it a couple of days. He called your show, and he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and that little girl ain't around me. I hope y'all ain't got no little kids around y'all.
No.
He was screaming at the top of his lungs, if y'all go with the Democrats, they gonna be fucking y'all children. They gonna be fucking your grandkids. But Donald Trump is
I do remember him saying that.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
Because that was the issue. It wasn't just the boys is gonna be in the girls' bathrooms and they're gonna be playing sports. It was it was Biden and Kamala is gonna be defending pedophiles and they're gonna be letting them fuck y'all kids and y'all grandkids. Donald Trump is protecting, and the Republican Congress are doing everything they can to stop the Epstein files from coming out. They are protecting pedophiles. And Ron ain't said nothing about that since Trump took office. It's not a big deal all of a sudden. Why was this fear of people going to be fucking our kids and our grandkids on the top of your mind when you thought the Democrats, but now that the Republicans are in there, it ain't a concern no more. So all this stuff that they claim they was so against and they had them scared and shaking in their boots that was going to happen. Trump is in here. He ain't did nothing specifically for black people, which is another thing they claimed why they was swearing.
And they was going to hold him accountable and make sure that he do.
And so it's just like with the city politics and the police and these guys are unbelievable. And so I just wanted to say, radicalized Ron, you're not fooling us by coming on here trying to divert us from talking about what's happening in the world around us and to get us going on some crazy stuff. Now he wants us to look up, I forget what he called it. He got the name of the comments and the man, we ain't falling for that stuff. We know what you're doing, Ron, and you're just trying to get us to talk about anything but Trump. And then him and some of the rest of them, they say, no, y'all don't understand. We're saying we understand that it's pain that's going to be visited upon our people. But this is the time for us to come together. This is the time for us to unite. What is Ron doing to unite us? What is Marquetta Denise doing to unite us? What is traveling telephone twerking twin doing to bring black people together? Nothing. Even your friend, the bail bondsman, he's one of them other ones. Oh, we just don't want to be involved in politics. We want to focus on us coming together. They not bringing us together. They just using their voices and their platforms to argue against us focusing on the stuff that's real, that's in front of us. That's the reason why we go vote. And so I see some people complaining in the comments, the Black Lion saying, you being up there, you giving me too much time, and I guess he wants you to interrupt me or challenge me on something. You're showing favoritism to your brother. You never allow me to call in and ramble on. What? So I didn't know I was rambling on. I thought I was talking about the police. I thought I was talking about Fiji. And then I thought I switched over to talk about radicalized Ron and how we see through. But anyway, that's all I had. Anyway, unless you got some questions for me. Oh, Thanksgiving. Hey, let me tell you something. Chelsea participates on this podcast from time to time.
Yeah.
Our niece. Chelsea about to graduate with her master's degree. I'm so proud of that girl. She got her graduation in December, the Friday after Thanksgiving. Man, I'm celebrating Thanksgiving. I'm sorry. I'm celebrating Thanksgiving, and I'm going down south to celebrate my niece getting that graduation. You know what I'm saying? Man, I have you seen this stuff that it's this guy, I think it's just one person. He's got this whole website. He's trying to convince people that we should have a national strike. Nobody go to work. Nobody shop at any stores. Nobody go to any restaurants. Nobody have Thanksgiving. Have you seen this?
I haven't.
I hope that people. He actually tried to get it to jump off in September. Nobody joined on board. So now he moved the dates to the whole Thanksgiving week. You talked about, I think when they was first announced the boycott of a Target, you talked about how it don't do us no good to just call for these crazy, unfocused, we want to boycott America, and we don't have we won't know when we won the boycott, we won't know when to stop. I'm all for boycotting. I'm all for using economic leverage. But to tell people not to spend any money, we ain't buying no food. We ain't paying no electric bill. We ain't paying for no heat when it gets cold. It's unreasonable to use the word. It's unreasonable. It's ridiculous. And I wonder if people like that aren't really just set up to distract us from the stuff that's going around and the stuff that we actually can change. Anyway, I got to go.
All right.
Peace.
32. All right. 513-717-KING. 513-717-5464. That's the number. Black Lion, you want to get on board? You can ramble. Bro, how long was Ron on? And I let Ron tell his entire story almost completely uninterrupted. And people was like, all righty, man, it's time to move on. All righty, man, it's time to move on. Y'all don't be fair to me. Only people that I really kind of interrupt and when people saying, stuff that I don't agree with, so I want to question you about it to have a better understanding. Or, people just saying stupid stuff. Other than that, I let people talk as long as they're interesting. Speaking of interesting people talking, Shelly.
What it do?
It do something, I guess.
I got to chime in on this.
All right. What are you chiming in on?
Okay, well, first of all, I don't back the blue, and I don't like Fiji. However, I also think you can't do what they did to her. It sets a bad precedent, right?
What do you perceive that they did that was bad?
Well, I don't think she was a DEI hire. Like, I think that's overused, okay? I don't like her. I can't stand the bitch. But you can't change the rules in the middle of the game, and you can't disrespect someone that you put on a pedestal, right? Because if they do it to her, just like they did to Blackwell, remember? Like, he was awesome, he was great, and they screwed him over. If we can't let it happen and support it because we don't like her or she's white. I mean, they called her while she was at a police chief convention. You know how like raw dog that is. You can't. I mean, don't you think that's like raw?
No.
I mean, if they were going to go that low, they should have just fired her when the brawl happened.
I don't necessarily know if I agree that it kind of went down the way that you're saying it went down.
Okay, why wouldn't they have fired her sooner? I mean, imagine if it was somebody else. If you're a police officer for 35 years, like you and the radio station, like you quit or got fired because of the shot, right?
Right.
I mean, isn't that kind of along the same lines?
No.
You don't think so?
Nowhere near.
Okay, well.
Hold on, well, let me ask you this. Let
Okay.
me ask you this, Shelley. Do you apparently, according to these emails, apparently one of the things or a few of the things that the police chief was doing was the police chief was going above and beyond her authority to do things, meet with people, make public announcements that she was not authorized to make and that she had not let her employers know about. Don't you think that's something that somebody might look at and say, yo, that's inappropriate?
Yeah, and it should have been announced at the time or whatever. But where's the policy? Show me the policy. Because I was watching like a county commissioner meeting the other day from May, and they said out loud, well, we can't make rules, by golly, but we can make policy. No, that's not cool. That's a problem. And no, the city manager can't just create a policy because she doesn't like something in that moment. You can't just create a policy for anything because you're in the moment. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's why we have the issues that we have with our city council and the commissioners and the school and the taxes and everything, because people want to just create policies and rules along the way. I want to see that in writing.
Well,
If
apparently,
that's
hold
the
on,
case-
hold on. Wait. Apparently, it was clearly put in writing in an email to the police chief effective August 15th. Any meetings or communications must be reviewed with city spokesman and me before any messaging is executed, and some other things that were put in writing to her.
No, because there's a policy and there's a chain of command, there's policy and procedure for everything. Nobody should be able to just make up rules. That's my issue, because if she's doing it, what if someone we don't like gets in there and does the same crap? No, you can't just make up a rule because
as long as if it's a
moment.
reasonable look, rules are made and updated all the time, and you just gotta roll it, just like that shot. Hold on, just like that shot. They created a rule. You gotta get this shot. That wasn't a rule before. That was something they just made up.
And that's a problem. No, that's a problem. People should be.
No, they have a right to create the policies for their employees.
That's
And
a
I had a
problem.
right to say, I don't agree with that policy, so I will not adhere to it. And then they could say, okay, then you can't work for us.
No, that's a problem. Because the thing is, it's not criminal, it's civil, and that's where people get lost. And this is what I say to white people, white conservatives, all the time. Because they always want to say, oh, you're entitled, right? You think you're entitled. Yeah, we are entitled. It's a civil rights issue. You cannot be out here just creating rules and policies willy-nilly. That leads to so many problems. And, yeah, that's a problem. The radio station that did that to you, they should be sued. They should get in trouble. Absolutely. You think that's okay? No. They should be sued.
I think it is slightly different because there's medical stuff involved, and there was some religious stuff involved as well. So it is slightly different. But if they create a policy and I violate the policy, I might lose my job.
Okay, if you violate the policy before the policy exists?
No, if I violate the policy after the policy exists.
Right. That's Bull crap.
Oh my God. Did they get you? Oh Lord. All right, I gotta let you go. All right, I don't know what's going on. I didn't do it. They got her. They got her. That's terrible. It's not funny, but they got her. Yeah, that's the policy. Do you know how many policies get changed on a regular basis? As things change, policies change. This is like all over the place. This is at everybody's. This sounds like she flatline. This is at everybody's workplace. Policies change, and you have to change with those policies. Now, again, I wasn't there. I don't know if she then violated that policy moving forward or anything like that. They've got an investigation, and, I'll wait for the investigation. My thing is, I just didn't understand all of these black people's love and support of her. I'm indifferent. I'm not 100% sure what happened. So I don't know. But it sounds like they might have cause. Sounds like they might have cause. Ron say that's effed up. You didn't see if she was okay. It sounded like she had an accident. How was I going to see if she was okay? And if she did have an accident, how was I going to help her? How was that messed up? And did you hear how long I was like, hello? You all right? Did they get you? What's going on? And just steal that beeping? What, we supposed to just sit there and listen to that the whole time? Come on, what? Stop it. Stop it. And you, MF, joking about it ain't S. That's the effing problem with the world. What are we supposed to do? The phone went bonkers. I'm just supposed to stay on with her forever until I make sure she okay. And then if she not okay, then I'm supposed to... what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I do want to read one comment Twin put in here. He's kind of floundering. Like he's what do you call it when he's throwing a fit? Twin is throwing a fit. Twin say he got fired for not taking a shot and not coming to work, Unc said. I don't really have to respond, but I like responding sometimes. I did get fired for not taking the shot. I don't think there's anybody who called the radio station or who worked at the radio station, even if you ask Mr. Ware tomorrow, did Emanuel come to work consistently? As much as he hate me, as much as he'd like to see me dead, and even as much of a liar as he is, he will have to admit, like, nah, he was here like almost every day. Remember, it was a big thing. People got mad at, or he would get mad at me for coming to work sick. Like, I would be sick, flu. But I felt like I'm in my own little room, so I could close the door and not make anybody else sick. I was there virtually every day. So, I'm just saying. I like it when people throw fits. I like it when people throw fits. Oh. And when you're throwing fits, you run out of stuff to say, and then you have to just start making stuff up. And then you make yourself not only sound like you don't know nothing, like good unintelligent person, you make yourself sound like a liar. No, twin, you already called. No. No, you can't get back in. No. I'm sorry, you can't get back in. Call tomorrow if you feel like it. But I'm sorry, you can't get back in. I just read what you said. There's no explanation to it. Jeannie say Shelly was throwing a fit. I'm willing to listen to her, but sorry, Ron. When that phone went crazy, we would still be listening to. No. No. All right. Oh, it's 6:00. Y'all, I gotta get ready to get out of here. I did have a couple other things that I wanted to talk about, but hold on. Let me say this. Since I brought it up, I didn't really talk about it. Crystal says, I know for a fact that Emanuel was abiding by the rules placed and getting COVID tested 3 times a week. I didn't have a problem with it. And then they just changed their mind one day and was like, all right, now you got to take a shot. But anyway, punk ass hung up. Bro, you was already on. You was already on. I talked just for a quick second about this movie. I don't even remember what it's on. I don't remember which platform it's on, but it's called Weapons. It's a okay watch. It's a kind of quirky movie. I'm not going to give no spoilers. I would say it's an okay watch. Like if you sitting around and you want to watch a little bit of a quirky movie, it's something you can watch. I think they're kind of billing it as a scary movie, like a horror. And I guess I could see how they could say that. But I just thought it was okay at best. I thought it was okay. It was okay. But, it was Mrs. Livingston, a Mrs. Livingston pick. And so we watched it. Diane said Weapons was pretty good. I usually don't do scary movies because it wasn't scary. It was just weird. It was just weird. Sammy said, is it on Netflix? It's not on Netflix. Told you I lost my Netflix access. Netflix got me. I got to find somebody else with Netflix. But yeah, Netflix, they caught me. Why did she go to that particular house? Well, no, remember, and I'm, without spoiling it, those were her family members. Those were her actual family members. Of course, it was acted well, it was filmed well, it was directed well. I give it a 5. If I had to give it, Crystal says it's on HBO Max. If I had to give it a rating, as a horror movie, a 3. Just as a kind of a weird kind of movie, like overall, as just a movie. You can say what you want to say, but yeah, it was written fairly well. It was acted well. The lighting was good. It was shot well. About a 6.5, maybe. 6.5. Don't go in expecting no epic. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in expecting no epic. And the trailer is misleading as to what the movie is actually about. And the way that they shot the movie doing the thing that they did, if you watched it, you know, I'm talking about the way that they shot it. That was interesting. But yeah, I would get a movie, maybe 6.5. 6.5. I am looking for a good, scary horror movie to watch. Something that's got not just a lot of jump scares. I'm not a big fan of jump scares. You just startle me all day. Oh boy. Oh, that was so scary. Shh, coming around the corner. Shh, do-do-do-do, shh, do-do-do-do, shh. Don't just do that to me the whole movie. Then I'm sitting there, oh. No, I'm not scared. That just startled me. Like, that's not scary. I can't be like, I'm so scary. But do something scary. Hold on and hide behind the corner. And then see, I'm scary. You just startled me. But I want a good scary movie. Brent says, check out Alien Earth. Hold on. Let me clarify. I need a good scary movie that is not a Netflix movie. Well, maybe a Netflix movie, because I might be able to find it elsewhere. So, okay, a good scary movie. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm writing it down. I'm going to look. It said Alien Earth. All right. You said Netflix with a hard N. What is it? A soft N? Netflix? I don't. It's Netflix. It's got a hard N. I don't even understand that critique. Miss Pittsburgh says a 2. I give it. Are you saying you give Weapons a 2? Ron says, I told you, Insidious. I watched Insidious a long time ago. That was not a scary movie to me. Insidious was not scary. Alien Earth is on Hulu or HBO Max. Okay, I'm good on those. Alien Earth, Insidious, which I've seen all of the Insidii. Alien Earth. So you liked it better than Sinners? No, I didn't like it better than Sinners, but it was different. I don't think I gave Sinners a 5 just in total. I thought I gave Sinners a 7, and you were mad about me giving it a 7 because you thought it should have a 10. I'm fairly certain I gave Sinners a 7. Okay, well, Alien Earth is the only movie that anybody gave me. Netflix is free with T-Mobile. I don't have T-Mobile. I'm not switching to T-Mobile. Sorry. Tony Revel says, there hasn't been a scary movie since The Exorcist. Which is, I still say that's one of the scariest movies to me. I always thought Amityville Horror was pretty scary. Okay, what are your top scary movies? It's almost Halloween. Halloween is tomorrow. Um, what are you watching, Sidious again? No, I think I'm all right. All right, what is your top? Let me put it at top 5. Your top 5 scariest movies. And no, Sierra, we ain't watching no Tyler Perry, nothing. Jerica said nobody asked you to switch to T-Mobile. How would that benefit me to know that Netflix is free with T-Mobile? My top scary movie is Chucky. I hated him as a child. I've never watched the movie Child's Play. Maybe I'll write that down. Child's Play. I've never watched that movie. Not out of fear or anything, I just never watched it. Very Dangerous Things. I might have watched that. What was that about? I'm a slow writer. I never watched any of the Jeepers Creepers. The concept doesn't interest me. The concept doesn't interest me. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, when I was younger, I think what that came out when I was like 14 or something like that. That was I didn't write 13 Ghosts down. Now, I might have seen these movies. 'Cause me and Mrs. Livingston would like to watch scary movies. So I might have seen them and just don't remember the name of them. But 13 Ghosts, all right, scary movie. Jerica says any Annabelle movie. See, to me, the whole Conjuring universe is that is the jump scare universe. Sure, they create some situations to help, but I think, and it might even be scary, but then once they do the jump scare, they lose me. Because I don't know, was I actually scared or, you just startled me. They startle you to death. So anything in the Conjuring universe, I look at it just as a jump scare fest, and it is annoying to me. And they don't have to do it because they have good stories and they know how to build tension. But then the only way that they can think of to pay it off is, that's it. But yes, I agree. The original Amityville, one is a scary movie, no doubt. Mary says The Conjuring. Again, it's the jump scares. I'm not saying the movies aren't scary, creepy, all of that kind of stuff. But again, the only way they know how to pay off the tension that they build is with a jump scare. And that annoys me. Okay, again, 13 Ghosts, never seen. The Thing, 1982. That's where they were up in the North Pole and it was like some alien creature yeah, that was, more thriller to me. That was less horror, less scary. But I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Gene said, I guess I do like some horror movies then because I loved Child's Play. I'm going to watch it one of these days. Diane says, I watched a scary / comedy movie on Netflix called The Blackening. I think I saw that. Is it, and again, I'll be trying to do this without spoilers, but if you, just the trailer, it's a movie, it's all black people in the movie. They're trapped in a house, or I don't know if they're trapped, and they have to play a game. Is that The Blackening? I'm pretty sure if that is, I've seen that. Jerica says cemetery. Just cemetery, not pet cemetery. I don't know if I've ever seen cemetery. Maybe I'll check it out. Diane says yes. Yes, it wasn't scary, but it was an enjoyable movie. The Blackening was an enjoyable movie. Diane also said, Tanika says Jeepers Creepers is scary. Maybe I'm going to have to, let me write it down. Every once in a while, Mrs. Livingston will talk about that because she watched it, but I've never watched it. And, when she finds a scary movie that she has watched that I haven't watched, she's like, oh, no, we can watch it. I'm like, no, you already watched it. I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? You watching it, so you're going to be half paying attention because you don't watched it before. So I don't want to, I want to enjoy the scare experience together. You know where all the scary stuff is. So maybe we'll watch it. Night of the Living Dead. The black and white version, they did the best that they could. E-Man, you think The Omen was scary? The original one? I don't think so. I don't think the original one was scary. It was creepy, and I think there's a difference. It'd make you uneasy. Tanika says black telephone, black phone. I think, I'm pretty sure, but it might be black telephone. Yeah, I watched that. That wasn't scary to me. That was, kind of creepy, sure, because of the subject matter, but it wasn't scary. Like a good scary movie to me, like when you go to sleep. You dream about it and you're scared about it because it's something, even though far-fetched, like Freddy, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he come and get you in your dreams. Like, oh, I'm scared, Oh, that's some scary stuff. Candyman. When I saw Candyman for the first time, even though some of my friends, I'm still mad at them, they tricked me before going to see Candyman because I hadn't seen it. They had seen it. And we were going to see it a second time because I was at work when the whole group went and saw it. But they enjoyed it so much. They like, you got to watch the movie. I don't even know if they enjoyed it so much. They just wanted to get me. But before we went and watched the movie, they was like, okay, say Candyman in the mirror, whatever it was, 3 times or 5 times or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I said it, Candyman, 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 however many times. And they like, okay, let's go see the movie. And then after, I'm like, oh, I was so mad at them. Like, y'all gonna just do that. Y'all gonna do that. And then, I had my own little spot and everything. And I had a long hallway that I had to walk to. And one of the light bulbs was out in the hallway. And so then I come home from watching that. And I'm walking down this long, dark hallway to get to my apartment. Having said Candyman 3 times or 5 times in the mirror or whatever it is. I was so mad at them. So, yeah, something that lingers with you after the movie, to me, that's scary. Black phone, I'm not going to be, in that situation. So, not so much scary to me. Blair Witch Project was scary AF. Never watched that. And I always liked found footage type movies. But I don't know why I never watched Blair Witch. Writing it down. I might watch that. Final Destination. Bring Her Back. And The Monkey. Final Destination Bloodlines. Haven't watched it. Bring Her Back. I saw the previews to it. And thought about it, like, does this sound scary? I wasn't sure. And then The Monkey, I think I've seen The Monkey, but I'm not 100% sure. Kind of tell me what it's about a little bit. Brent Breer talking about Blackula. Blackula ain't scary. One of the scariest shows is They on Prime. I disagree. I didn't think that was scary at all. It was an interesting series, but I didn't think it was scary. Crystal says The Exorcist. Exorcist, yes. Amityville Horror, yes. And Hellraiser, all right. Mirrors, okay. And The Skeleton Key both creep me out. All right. All right. Oh, I'll tell y'all what is actually was a good. I don't know if I would say it was so much a scary movie by my definition, but it was a really good movie. Oculus. If you've never seen Oculus, it's a pretty good movie. I was surprised because some of y'all is gonna turn y'all off. I was surprised because initially it was a WWE Studios movie when Vince McMahon was trying to get into making movies. It was a WWE Studios movie, so I thought I don't want to see no wrestlers in no horror movie. There ain't no wrestlers in it, and Vince didn't write it, direct it, or anything like that. And it's actually I think it's a really good scary movie. The whole concept of it, it is a really good scary movie. And you can't beat a nice surprise ending. Diane says, The Exorcist. I can't hardly watch. Yeah. Yeah. It is still, it's hard to watch it. Even now, I'm grown. The effects, they've aged. And, you know, they can do it better. But, yeah, that's still a good one. It's still a good one. I always say it's a slow burn. Because, you know, really when you watch it, think about it, it don't start. The first, 3/4 of the movie is really not much going on. But then it definitely picks up. Wendell and Wild. I'll look into that. I will look into it. Jordan Peele. Nat says, the Jason movies are funny to me. Yeah, they're not scary. I mean, initially, you know, I was little when Friday the 13th first came out. I don't know why my parents ever let me watch it. So initially it was scary, but then not so much. Jerica says Pet Cemetery. Okay. And Tanika says it's them. Okay. But I knew what you were talking about. The Skeleton Key. I'm gonna watch these trailers and then figure out if it's something I want to watch. Get Out, sing Get Out, not that scary. My Mrs. Livingston keep telling me Children of the Corn is scary. I've never seen it. Never seen it. She keeps saying it's scary. The Hills Have Eyes. She also says that that's scary. Brent says Dead Alive, also known as Brain Dead. The main character straps a lawnmower to his chest to dispatch a horde of zombies in the final act. All right. Cujo. Cujo wasn't scary to me. Cujo was just a dog. Ooh, I'm trapped in a car and it's a dog. I'm not dreaming about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not having nightmares about that. It. I finally saw. I didn't see the original It. I finally saw the It that came out not too long ago. It wasn't scary to me. It was okay, but it wasn't really all that scary. The Shining, Halloween, Michael Myers. Okay. Diane says Omen was scary to me as well. All right. Somebody said Rosemary's Baby. Did y'all see? There's a remake of Rosemary's Baby with what's her name, Zoe Saldana in it. It's slightly different, but I mean it was okay. The original was okay. Yeah, both of them was okay. Scary. Crystal says, I love horror movies, so the movies I just named arose fear or horror in me to the point I don't really want to think about them again. Tanika says, Freddy movies are definitely scary. Okay, the first one, I'll give you scary. Second one, not at all. Third one, okay, kind of scary, but that's when Freddy moved more into humor. I think after the third one, that was the Dream Warriors, or I think maybe the fourth one was the Dream Warriors. That's where Freddy really became a comedian, and it kind of stopped being scary to me. And then when they rebooted it and did it, I didn't love that reboot. So, Nat says, did y'all say Amityville Horror? Yes, definitely. Dawn of the Dead remake. All right. Yeah, no, I believe it or not, all of the other stuff we talk about and the back and forth and the this person, that person, all of that kind of stuff. Cool. I like this stuff where we interact and, get to know each other. Talk about stuff. Tanika says Hellraiser was scary. Mrs. Livingston just watched that maybe a couple of weeks ago because she couldn't go to sleep and I was sleeping and I was kind of listening to it and watching it a little bit. Wasn't that scary to me? Wasn't that scary to me? But I wasn't up watching it all the way. Lady in the White Dress. The actress is the grandmother from Who's the Boss. I don't remember her name. Mona. I don't remember her real name. She was also on Soap. I liked her as an actress. Lady in the White Dress. And I think I've seen that movie too. But I write it down. I'm fairly certain I've seen that movie too. Hellman. I don't remember her first name. Hellman was her last name. Catherine, thank you. I'm sorry I write slow. Sometimes I write slow, sometimes I write quick. I don't know this. I'm not even a hip hop guy, but just sometimes stuff made its way into the what they call it, the zeitgeist or whatever. Stuff made its way and it's in my head. Human Centipede. I watched Human Centipede. Ain't nothing scary about no Human Centipede. Rosemary's Baby came on a couple holiday seasons ago and I watched it and got scared. Why did it show around Christmas? I don't know. Salem's Lot. I remember a version of Salem's Lot when I was a kid that scared me. But I know that they did remake it. And they made a series out of it. And Mrs. Livingston actually just finished watching that series. Vampire in Brooklyn was not scary. Tanika said that black sample on them scared the mess out of me for weeks. I could see that. Depending on, what scares you. Countdown. Okay, give me a synopsis of these movies that y'all saying is scary. The Grudge. I watched The Grudge. I could see that being scary. I could see that being scary to somebody. I don't know why that wasn't. Certain things just. I'm more scared by like demonic stuff. I like a good exorcism movie, and I think I've seen them all, even like B movie stuff. I like a good exorcism movie. Um, I like a movie, because to me that's your most scary stuff with a spiritual kind of based stuff. But I also like ghosts, which I guess is also what could be considered spiritual, and a good concept of maybe a monster or something like that. I like stuff like that. I do. The Fog. Which Fog? I never saw The Fog, the original The Fog. I saw, I guess, the remake of The Fog, and it was not scary. What was that crazy alien movie Roddy Piper was in? Thought it was more weird, funny than scary. Ooh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of what it is. He had the glasses, and he could see the I think they were aliens. He could see the aliens in his glasses, but I don't remember the name of it. I can't recall the name of it right now. A good series, Nosferatu or Nosferatu, and that's basically that old school vampire stuff. I might check it out. Because I like a good horror. A lot of Stephen King stuff is not scary to me. I don't know why. A lot of his stuff just it's not scary. It's interesting sometimes, but a lot of Stephen King stuff is not scary. Mary says, Get Out was scary to me. Really? Okay. See, some of y'all, I think some of this stuff is thrillers. And I think I make a slight distinction between a thriller that might have some, tense components. Like just because I'm tense and I don't know what's about to happen. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm not necessarily scared. I guess you could say I'm scared for the character, but if it don't cross over into my psyche. Like, I'm not worried about getting hypnotized by a lady, hitting on the glass, being in no sunken place. Like, my body is never going to be swapped out with, so for that, but I get it. Arachnophobia. Okay. I've never watched It movies. Shelley's Calls are pretty terrifying. Children of the Corn, The Invisible Man, even the original Invisible Man, and then this remake. Again, interesting movies. Talk to Me. I watched Talk to Me. Talk to Me was an interesting movie. I might give that one scary. No, Kevin Farmer is not in the new Rosemary's Baby. Are you doing a show tomorrow? I intend on it. Sure. Oh, it is Halloween. I might not be doing a show. I'll probably do a show. What, 3:30 to 5? Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. I do believe I'll be here tomorrow. Yes. And then we'll probably, I don't know if we're going to give out candy or what we're going to do. Maybe just sit around and watch scary movies. The Purge, again, not a scary movie to me, a thriller, but yes. I remember seeing Nightmare on Elm Street at the Skywalk downtown. I think I saw Nightmare on Elm Street that I saw I think I've only seen like 2 movies at the Regal. And I think I might have saw Nightmare on Elm Street at the Regal, but it might have been something else. But I think I saw Nightmare on Elm Street at the Regal. I think my Uncle Donnie took us to see Nightmare on Elm Street at the Regal. Teeth is scary. Okay, never heard of that. The Ring. The Nun. Again, The Nun to me is in the Conjuring universe, so it's got a lot. Just jump scares, jump scares. Texas Chainsaw. Okay. Psycho, was afraid of the shower. Misery, again, not scary. Pet Cemetery. I love watch the Twilight Zone during this time. All right. They Live, thank you. That was the name of it. The Roddy Piper movie. What about Interview with a Vampire? Never saw that. I'll be honest, I was turned off by the Tom Cruise-ness of it. So I never watched that movie. And one of these days I might watch it. I'm writing it down. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Never watched it. And I thought about watching it. Wasn't there a quicksand scary movie? I don't know. The Skeleton Key Gets Inside Your Head. All right, I wrote that one down. Oh, yeah, I wrote that one down. I'll see. Is little baby dressing up? Yes, she is. She is dressing up as one of the, which I was surprised that her mama let her, one of the K-pop demon hunters. She's dressing up as one of them. Train Spotting. I'm taking y'all word that these are movies, but I'm gonna look them up anyway. It Follows. It Follows. It's a little bit like it's a B movie, but it's a pretty decent. It's a good movie. Like it was a scary movie. It was a scary movie. Like, not exceptionally scary by my definition of scary. I didn't have a nightmare about it or anything like that, but it was a pretty scary movie. Now again, I've only said the two, Oculus. And I'm telling you, if you want to watch a decent scary movie, a decent story, again, my stuff, well written, well shot, lighting is good, acting is good, good concept, all of that kind of stuff. Oculus. And It Follows, maybe not as well, the lighting and the shooting and all of that kind of stuff. Why I kind of gave it a B movie-ish type of, it's not quite a B movie, but it's kind of a B movie. But It Follows is a good movie. Good movie. Ode from M. Night Shyamalan. Okay. Emanuel Livingston, you only seen 2 movies at the Regal. What kind of sheltered childhood did you live? I lived in Avondale, and we didn't get down to the daggone movies. I had a working mom, and I didn't know nobody that lived downtown. And when Mama would take us to the movies, on the rare occasion that she did and had time to, I remember us going to the that's where I actually saw The Exorcist for the first time, was the Twin Drive-In. They had a double feature, The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby. And that was when it came out. My mama took us to see. My daddy was mad. Daddy was mad that Mama took us to see that movie. I remember Daddy was mad. And keep in mind, Pops was a preacher. And so for Mama to take her kids to the drive-in to see The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby, my daddy was mad about that. I remember hearing them have a discussion about it. But Yeah, but no, she never took us to the Regal. She never took us to the Regal. She took us other places. Um, I did not discuss a cop that showed up to court without pants. Shutter Island was good. Shutter Island was good. I don't think I ever watched The Descent. And Sixth Sense was not really scary. It had a couple of little jump scares in it. They didn't overdo it, but it was again more of a kind of a thriller-ish. Thriller might not even be the best word for that. Yeah, it was different. Ron says the skeleton key is the S. Okay. Storm of the Century, which I think I saw, but I'm gonna write it down anyway. And Needful Things. Y'all ain't giving me no synopsis or nothing, but that's okay. That's all right. 28 Days Later, but that's a vampire movie. Wasn't it a movie before 28 Days Later? Like you really kind of have to watch the movie. What was it? 28 days, and then 28 days later, and then 28 years later, or something like that. Ron says, I would agree that It Follows was daggone good. It was. It was. I watched Train to Busan, and that was a good movie. That was a good movie. Again, zombie movies I don't consider scary movies, but, I do like them. I like them. And when me and Mrs. Livingston were on our, she said it was me. Because I was, almost every movie I was picking was a zombie movie. So when we were on our zombie movie kick, I think we watched all the zombie movies ever created, which of course is not true. But we did watch a lot of them. Did you go to the state show? No. Jerica said it was a lot of y'all. What? It was 6 of us. Yes. My parents went to their graves, never knowing my other older cousin took me to see Purple Rain. They would have been furious about Purple Rain. um, 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and then it's like one just came out. One just came out. What just? Within the past few couple of years. Another one. Either one just came out or one is getting ready to come out. Look, hold on, let me see. I think either one just came out or one is getting ready to come out. What is it? It would help if I typed on the right computer. Okay, yeah. 28 years later. You had 28 days later, came out in 2002, 28 weeks later in 2007, 28 years later, 2025, and then there's one scheduled to come out in 2026, 28 years later, The Bone Temple. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure I watched Storm of the Century, though. I'm pretty sure I watched it. And Steban had already said 28 years later. I Am Legend was not a scary movie, plus Will Smith. Okay, I think I caught up. All right, well, I got a lot of movies. I got a lot of movies here. And I'll go through and kind of check them out. I will go through and check them out. All right, I'm about to get out of here. Almost 7 o'clock. Y'all, enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Have a good time. Don't let nobody ruin your evening. Don't let nobody ruin your day tomorrow. No matter what happens and what you come up against and what comes up against you, hopefully it's only a short moment in time that you're gonna have to deal with it. So just be calm, deal with it, and then move on. Don't let it linger. Don't worry about nothing that you can't do something about. And once you've done what you've done it. Leave it where it is. If you got to do something to fix it, don't worry about it. Just do it. Live your life worry-free. Live your life carefree. And as always, be the reason that somebody smiles. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.